The lowest price in town for your repairs.
Your words like the summer breeze.
Visit budgetbreaks.com for locations and coupons.
It is 5:46 right now. The countdown to football's biggest night is officially on. But as the Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers get ready to face off in Vegas, off the field, there's a new study that is shedding some light about how parents might behave around their children when they drink on Super Bowl Sunday.
All right, Fox News' Marianne Rafferty has this story.
From wings to pizza and subs and nachos, it's almost time to dig into some Super Bowl classics. And for those of legal age, that can also mean cracking open a cold one and enjoying some alcohol. But according to a recent study from the Ohio State University, parents who indulge in some booze during Sunday's big game may need to be mindful about how they interact with their kids throughout the night.
One of the big things that we found is that parents who were drinking on the day of the Super Bowl were much more likely to use aggressive discipline with their children on that same day and during the same time period that they were drinking.
The study examined parents of kids between the ages of 2 and 12, and the types of aggressive discipline included spanking and calling the child names.
If you're used to just having one drink a night, and on the day of the Super Bowl you have 5 drinks because it's a long day, then how you react to that might be different. If you're having a party or you're going to a party, you're going to want your kids to pay attention, behave, and if they're not, you might react more harshly than you might otherwise.
Researchers also say the parents who took part in the study were mostly moms.
We know that women make up about 49% of the NFL viewing population. They're also primary caregivers. What you often see is that women are doing the discipline during those times. And if they're also drinking and they're also stressed, they can also be using that aggressive discipline.
To try and prevent an unwanted reaction, the study recommends parents hire a babysitter or tire their kids out before kickoff so they're less likely to get loud during game time. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
Hey, let's head to the latest video in this morning after the flooding in California. Take a look at this. Now, not unusual for cliffs to erode on the West Coast. But look at these apartment buildings. I know they look kind of like townhouses, but the 4 of them in a row right there on the cliff, barely hanging on. This is in Santa Barbara.
Oh,
and you
my
can
goodness.
Yeah, you can see all of that rain has created mudslides, which caused a cliff slide. And look at the porch. Look at that back porch and the hole. It looks like a cave under that back porch.
That is so scary.
So a lot of evacuations obviously issued here, but here's the kicker. The team of investigators that came out to survey all this said it was okay for the people to go back.
That's a no for me.
To their homes. I don't know how you look at that and think, yeah, sure, that'd be fine.
I'm just thinking about the dog running around the backyard.
No way. Wow.
We have continuing coverage as construction work is back over in the Gulch. That's where we have a live look. It's after part of Division Street collapsed. This was last week, where our Fox 17 News photojournalist David McClure is now giving us this live look. And you see those cars going there, the construction workers out there waving down traffic. Metro Codes calling for a stop work order on the construction site just last week until the area was once again passable.
You know, so we were showing you the cliff slide in California. Well, we had a full-on road slide here in the Gulch. So this is part of a construction zone, and we've heard from some city leaders, including the local councilman, who said they think the reason that the road opened up here and gave way sliding down into that construction site was partly due to the weather, right? We've had all the rain and the ice and the snow and the freezing temperatures and then the warming temperatures, and all of those combined, Greg, as you've told us, can have a real impact on our road conditions.
Yeah, road conditions, erosion, you get the water underneath, it freezes, pops the road up, then it melts and everything collapses back down. And then you got a big old hole next to that piece of pavement, and here we are. We've been talking about Toby Keith and remembering.
Yeah.
And I got this picture in yesterday. So our dog of the day is named Toby Keith.
Aww.
Sent in by Dawn. And Toby was the first person that Dawn ever saw in concert back in the 90s and loved him so much that she named her first dog after Toby. So thank you for sharing that photo here. We're all still chiming in all over social media, sharing all the remembrance and whatnot. If you're taking your dogs outside later on today, 41 degrees at 9 o'clock, 60 at noon, 65 degrees at 3 p.m. Everything looking good. You can share your photos with us very easily by going to Facebook. Meteorologist Greg Bobus, that's the post. I show it every day, and every day I see more and more of you sending your photos, your location, and what I love now is getting these stories about all of our four-legged friends. You'll see them right here on Fox 17 News this morning at the car wash. You can still do it today and tomorrow, but I honestly at this point would wait until next week unless you know that you're going to wash the car and have it rained on at some point Friday through Monday, because rain will be tracking in for us here. Sneak peek at the weekend, 64 on Saturday, 60 degrees on Sunday. As far as today, today's a good one. A little more cloud cover than yesterday, but still mainly sunny. 64 degrees. Nighttime temperatures get better as well. We have no nighttime temperatures in the 30s until we get out of the weekend and go into next week, and that's when a big cooling trend takes over for the middle to end of next week.
Still clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get to I-24. This is going to be I-24 near exit 111. This is down in Manchester. Good morning, Manchester, Tennessee. They are doing some road work out there, it would appear, and it has slowed things up in a big way. So this is down to the south and east of Murfreesboro. Just keep going down there. This is where they're getting ready for Bonnaroo in a few months down in that area. But traffic can be slow. A lot of 18-wheelers trying to crawl their way through. Just give yourself an extra few minutes and you should be okay. All right, other side of the state. This is going to be Clarksville to downtown, coming in at about an hour right now. We do have a slowdown here right before exit 76. They're doing paving work, and so they've shut down one lane of traffic coming all the way down from there. The best way to steer clear is trying to get through the city of Clarksville, perhaps on the backside here through Montgomery County. That's going to be your best bet to try to get around this until they finish up that work.
Justin, thank you. Coming up, making it easier to spot artificial intelligence generated content. Why one social media giant says they are taking some new precautions.
A couple of otters make a Super Bowl prediction, and we'll show you who they think.
Goodness into your morning. Choose a biscuit with sausage and egg, gravy, or country fried steak. Any two, just $5. Enjoy heart-shaped biscuits now through Valentine's Day.
Good morning and welcome into Fox 17 News this morning, where we are glad to have you as part of our morning routine, and thank you for making us a part of yours. Live look into downtown Nashville right now. Looking pretty good to start the day. Maybe a few clouds here and there, but Greg's going to detail your forecast for you for this hump day and also look ahead to the weekend in just a few minutes.
Over the coming months, Meta says they are adding AI-generated, artificial intelligence-generated labels to images created by third-party tools. So they're working with other firms to create invisible watermarks to identify those images. It was a big question to figure out what's fake, what's real.
Well, but if I'm a person on social media and it's an invisible watermark, how do I know? Right? If I'm scrolling social media and somebody created an AI photo of, say, you know, a politician, and it's totally fake, how would I know? Well, apparently they're putting labels as well. So these invisible watermarks and labels to let you know if what you're seeing is fake. In other words, artificially created.
Lawmakers and tech executives have raised concerns about AI's capability to produce realistic images that you just can't tell, especially ahead of the 2024 presidential election.
Gosh, it's like the Wild West out there right now, I'll tell you.
It truly is.
Here's what I can promise you. What we bring you in the morning has not been artificially created.
That's right.
No bots here.
Greg, can I take a second real quick and say something?
For sure.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. I just wanted to say good morning to James Clarkson. Okay, I met him yesterday at the post office in Gallatin, and he said he wanted a shout out. So there you go, James.
James, good morning. Thank you for waking up with us here. Taking a look here, everyone else waking up. We have the bus stop forecast for the kids getting ready. 31 degrees at 6 a.m., 7 o'clock 33, and 8 o'clock 36 degrees. Almost an identical morning, just like yesterday was. So no big changes here day to day. Tomorrow will actually be a little bit warmer. We've been talking about outdoor activities, getting things done. These are the last two really good days to do stuff when it comes to errands, car washes, maybe just clearing out some yard clutter, getting ready for spring, because Friday through Monday, there will be rain in the forecast for us here that will linger into next week, and then temperatures drop. Today, another good one, 64 degrees and partly cloudy to mostly sunny as we go into the afternoon hours.
Steer clear traffic out there for you at 5:58. Let's take a quick look here near the airport at I-40 at Donaldson Pike. You can see traffic out there moving along just fine. No big slow ups here as you get out there towards BNA. Of course, another busy day on top here at the airport, but the roads themselves are doing all right. We do run into a couple of problems like that. And like this, these are potholes out there. A lot of them have been repaired, but they still will cause you a few bumps and rolls as you make that drive in. We do have problems coming in from Clarksville, another slowdown near Manchester on opposite sides of the state. We'll tell you more about that coming up in a few.
Well, lots of people are placing their bets on who's going to win Super Bowl Sunday, and some of those methods are somewhat unusual, trying to predict whether the Chiefs or 49ers come out on top. We're talking about otters.
Yeah, we see animals every year do these fun little games at local zoos across the country to try to choose who's going to win. The Texas State Aquarium gave 2 otters a try at picking the winner. Workers at the aquarium set up ice cakes made of Jell-O and then watched to see which one the otters preferred.
I like ice cakes. Hey, so one of the otters went ahead and ran straight to the Chiefs ice cake. The other, though, giving the 49ers cake a try and then decided to change its mind to Kansas City. What does that mean?
Well, I think it's utterly ridiculous. Because everybody knows that Taylor Swift's favorite number is 13.
Oh, my gosh.
And what is the San Francisco 49ers quarterback number? Brock Purdy, number 13.
Well, we don't need otters.
Listen, the more you know, y'all.
We got Jen.
Hey, across the nation, a Minnesota landmark burned to the ground yesterday in a major fire. We understand that this historic lodge is a total loss, but thankfully, nobody's hurt.
Yeah, this resort that we're showing you started back in 1885 on the north shore of Lake Superior. The manager says the lodge is going to be rebuilt in the same design. Stay with us. Our 6 o'clock hour starts right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Right now on Fox 17 News This Morning, Jillian's Law passes unanimously in a Tennessee House committee. We'll tell you what's next as the Belmont student's family hopes her death will lead to change.
At the State of the State address, Governor Bill Lee proposed legislation to make sure there is parental consent for their kids before they sign up to social media platforms. I'll have that in a few minutes.
64 and sunny today, but weekend rain Friday through Monday, and we have to go back to reality next week. Much colder. How much cooler will be coming up in your forecast?
And Steer clear traffic takes us down to Manchester for a change. This is 24 near one of the major exits there. We're going to tell you why things are tied up coming up in a few.
Ooh, messy there. Do want to start, though, by thanking you for waking up with us here bright and early on a Wednesday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We've got you covered live through 9 a.m. And one of the big stories we're following this morning takes us to Capitol Hill here in Nashville. An update on a bill that would keep mentally ill people who were accused of violent crimes from walking free. That passed unanimously in a House Criminal Justice Committee just last night.
Jillian's Law is what it's called and was proposed after Belmont University student Jillian Ludwig was hit and killed by a stray bullet while walking in a park near her dorm last November. Well, the man accused in her death, 29-year-old Shaquille Taylor. Taylor had a long rap sheet, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
But instead of facing a conviction last year on different charges, he was deemed incompetent. The case dismissed. He was allowed to go free back on the streets. Jillian's parents now hoping that Jillian's death inspires meaningful change.
We were so mesmerized by the adult Jillian was becoming. Confident, driven, beautiful, independent. Her mother and I were so proud. We had considered colleges in Philadelphia and other cities, but we felt that Nashville would be a place she would be safe. Instead, the laws and judicial system allowed a violent criminal to be on the streets.
What you need to know this morning is that Jillian's Law now moves on to the next phase in our Tennessee House. Coming up later this morning on Fox 17 News, reporter Kelly Avellino joining us in studio for a very close look at this bill and what it means.
Also new this morning, Governor Bill Lee is promising to bring a bill this year that would require parents' consent for children to use social media platforms.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us live right there at the Capitol, where he gave his State of the State address and mentioned that particular bill.
Good morning, Jen and Erica. Well, you can imagine parents walking down these steps after the state-to-state address, happy that there is hope for protection for their kids when they're using social media platforms. Now, the bill would essentially require social media companies to get parental consent before their kids can sign up to social media platforms. Social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Experts say that when kids are scrolling through the content here on TikTok, that they are more likely to have a negative self-image if they are ingesting or processing content that is not age appropriate. Now, Governor Bill Lee also mentioned that reports show that social media usage by kids have been linked to mental health issues like anxiety, depression, and loneliness. Therapist Jason Gibbons tells us why. Take a listen.
Our mood is impacted by how we connect with people, either in person or online. It's just that growing up pre-social media, your home was a safe place.
And he says that social media for kids cannot be a safe place. They're not able to turn it off when they get home, as people did back in the day before social media was a huge thing. Now, coming up at 6:30, he tells us why kids are most impacted. Reporting live in front of the Capitol, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
6:04, and it's time to talk about what's new this morning as we're waking up when it comes to the weather world. And rainy is still the name of the game for the end of the week. Today, 64 and sunny. Let's go to what we need to know about here when it comes to planning. Rain starts on Friday. Multiple waves of rain track through. 3 of them. One Thursday night into Friday. Very light hit and miss rain for that one. One Friday night into Saturday. Steadier, heavier rainfall, with the heaviest of that rainfall going to be in our southeasternmost counties. And then another push comes in Sunday into Monday. All clear when it comes to code red threats, though. No severe weather and no flooding, which is good. And we need the rain. 1 to 3 inches of rain could help out significantly when it comes to all of Middle Tennessee that is still in at least some form of a drought stage. Taking a look this morning, a couple patches of some fog out there are possible. Grab the sunglasses as you head out, but prepare for that partly cloudy and 64-degree afternoon.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get you to Manchester. That's where we are running into a bit of a slowdown out there on I-24 near exit 111. You can see traffic is getting by, but there are people out there doing some road work, and that is shutting down the one lane of traffic there for the next little bit. Unknown when they're going to be finished, but it is backing up traffic here for several miles, so heads up in that area. We're also watching the traffic in and around the Clarksville area. They continue to shut down one lane of I-24 around the Highway 76 area. That's exit 11 for MLK Parkway. Once you get past that, you're doing much better. But before that, going up towards Oak Grove, in that particular area, things are slow.
Justin, thank you. We have continuing coverage this Wednesday morning as tributes for Toby Keith are still rolling in after the country megastar passed away at 62 years old after a battle with stomach cancer.
Yeah, musicians right here in Nashville and, of course, across the country are speaking out about his larger-than-life personality and also just on a personal level how he lived his life. Let's listen.
But I saw a guy that leaned into his music, and I saw a guy that was leaning into his faith. And I really enjoyed the conversation with him. And that was a Toby Keith that I didn't really know.
I loved his drive, his tenacity. I loved how he loved songwriting and playing so many shows.
Well, Jason Aldean also posting this message over on X, writing in part, Toby was a huge presence in our business and someone we all looked up to and respected. You and your music will forever be remembered. Forever remembered big man. We're going to share some more comments, though, coming up throughout this newscast.
Nashville's airport has big...
Take care of the communities that we live in and that we serve. So that's what we mean by improve the lives in every home.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet Buick GMC of Nashville.
6:09 is the time. The Nashville International Airport is on the verge of opening up a brand new Hilton hotel coming up in just a few days. It's all part of a massive expansion at the airport that they've had over the recent years. Now, the other thing that's changed at the airport is parking prices. Now, I'm of a different age, but I remember when short-term parking at the airport, or even long-term, let's go long-term economy parking, was $6 a day. Yeah, those days are long gone. The CEO of the airport told state lawmakers that the reason why parking is climbing is because parking is one of 3 main ways that the airport makes money. So what are the other ways?
Parking is about a third of our revenue. And we use we make money to pay our bills 3 ways. The airlines pay us, and in Nashville, it's about a third. Our concessions is about a third, and then our parking is about a third. And then we take that combination of those 3 and we go to the bond market and borrow. So we've borrowed $1.5 billion. And so there's some legislation to give away free parking at airports that negatively impacts our ability to borrow more money and to pay back the money that we've already borrowed at that point.
So that's why the parking prices kind of stay where they are at the airport. Now, the airport CEO also says they want to expand the reach of the airport with more direct flights to Central Europe. He says the demand is massive right now, with more than 500 people every day who want to fly from Nashville to some part of Europe.
6:11 our time here. Take a look at your code red forecast. I'm going to look ahead to rainfall totals. We talked about timing Friday through Monday. Let's take a look at who could potentially see what. The more northwest we go from the Nashville area, the less rain we're going to see and the more dry hours we will have, especially during the afternoons. Still, an inch of rainfall cannot be ruled out. You get Nashville toward the east and then the south, and things get a little more stacked up here when it comes to rainfall totals. 2 to 3 inches of rain cannot be ruled out in these areas. Not a guarantee that we get these numbers, but it does a really good job painting the picture of who sees more rain, who sees less, and who has more hours worth of rainfall between those 4 days. Taking a look coming up in a few moments, though, we're going to look at your 7-day forecast. Not only is rain a big player in the game now, but also a major cool down into next week.
Steer clear traffic takes us downtown Nashville. Let's go to I-40 at Broadway. Unsure exactly what's happening here, but they're asking you to merge left here. You see the sign right there, merge to the left. As they try to take care of whatever that is. They're on the shoulder of the road, not causing massive backups, but it is chopping off one lane there as people have to use both lanes to get over. They can't do it, so they're having to merge over there, and it is causing a slight delay there at the exit. Overall drive times look like this: 51 minutes now from the state line in Kentucky, 53 minutes now from Murfreesboro, 27 minutes in now from Mount Juliet. We'll continue to follow things, let you know as more and more things start to develop. Well, coming up, it's a blow to former President Donald Trump as a judge has ruled he is not immune from prosecution in the 2020 election case. We're going to tell you what's next on the agenda as his team continues to push back. And more
dining room, reclining furniture, and more.
Plus free next day delivery.
It's the B.F. Myers Furniture President's Day sale.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Southeast Financial Credit Union.
Good morning and welcome to Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, showing you a live look that you really just have to stop, pause, and look at. A beautiful sunrise off in the distance. There's Nissan Stadium, of course, but golly, the weather is going to be another great 5-star day. Lots of sunshine, and we'll have your full forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
All right, let's get to more headlines here to kick off your Wednesday morning. We start with Operation Crime and Justice right now. A federal appeals court has now ruled that former President Trump is not immune from prosecution in the criminal case that accuses him of trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election.
The former president is expected to appeal the decision to the Supreme Court. Fox 17 News' Atra El-Nashar explaining what could happen next. Listen.
A major blow to former President Trump's defense in special counsel Jack Smith's election subversion case dealt unanimously by a federal appeals court. They write, "We cannot accept former President Trump's claim that a president has unbounded authority to commit crimes that would neutralize the most fundamental check on executive power, the recognition and implementation of election results."
I feel that as a president, you have to have immunity. Very simple.
The court disagrees, writing, "Instead of inhibiting the president's lawful discretionary action, the prospect of federal criminal liability might serve as a structural benefit to deter possible abuses of power and criminal behavior." Trump has until Monday to appeal this to the Supreme Court. Former U.S. Attorney John Fishwick.
I expect they're going to say he doesn't have immunity,
and that they're going to do it on an expedited basis.
Trump faces 4 felony charges in this case, 2 for allegedly conspiring to defraud the United States through claims about the 2020 election Trump knew were false, and attempting to oppress, threaten, and intimidate Americans from voting and having their vote counted. And 2 charges for allegedly obstructing and attempting to obstruct official proceedings to certify election results.
Assuming the Supreme Court also says no, Trump does not have immunity because he was president, what else could his team use as a defense?
The primary one appears to be that they're going to say, look, the former president was advised by lawyers. They gave him the green light to do many of the things that he did connected to January 6th. They'll also say he had a First Amendment right to say certain things. I think a First Amendment argument is probably going to be uphill.
Trump's political allies quick to echo a claim he's made many times before.
I believe that they've been after President Trump for partisan political purposes. I think that's obvious.
The judge in this case, Tanya Chutkin, recently scrapped the trial's original March 4th start date to wait for the courts to rule on Trump's immunity claim. Now she's expected to assign a new date as soon as we learn how or if the Supreme Court weighs in. On Capitol Hill, I'm Atrell Nishar reporting.
Atra, thank you. We have continuing coverage now as construction work is back on at the Gulch. Very busy Wednesday morning. This comes after part of Division Street that we told you about last week. It collapsed, causing a bit of a situation.
So more high rises going up in the Gulch, and as that construction work was happening, that road gave way, kind of like a sinkhole effect. And our photojournalist David McClure, as Erica mentioned, is out there this morning giving us a look at the progress. So construction has now been allowed to resume. The Metro Codes Department, though, still has traffic blocked off on Division Street, and you can see in this live look right now, cars trying to make their way through here and navigate reduced lanes of traffic. Now, there was a stop work order for the last week or so until they could get this area stabilized. Metro Councilman Jacob Coupin met with the construction company that's working over here, Yates, and he tells Fox 17 News that it does not look like Yates Construction was in any way at fault in this collapse.
From the conversations with NDOT and the conversations with engineers, it doesn't sound like this was a massive screw up on the company's part, but more so a set of unfortunate circumstances.
Well, Coupin says with the recent snow and ice storm, a lot of water got under the roadway. And we're going to talk right now with our Code Red meteorologist, Greg Bovis, because we talk about the pothole, we talk about how it happens, and that was similarly what happened to that road.
Yeah, we had, all the rain, we had the deep freeze, we had the thaw, we had the back and forth of all of that, and then this is the result of it. Yeah, pothole, little, but this roadway right next to that giant hole where they have all the construction, that's what we're dealing with here. But this is also what we're dealing with this morning. Take a look at our Metro Center camera. We're getting closer and closer to sunrise. Sunrise for us will be in less than a half hour from right now, and it will be a very nice looking one from start to finish today. A few more clouds today than we saw yesterday, but out the door here on a Wednesday, February 7th. What can you expect temperature-wise? 33 degrees at 7, 36 at 8 o'clock, and then 41 at 9. So we gained 10 degrees in about 2 hours. Pretty quick warm up here thanks to the sun, and then we're going to keep things going. We're talking 60s later on today. Take a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll go for 64 later this afternoon, 61 degrees tomorrow, and then a pair of 64s on Friday and Saturday. Look at the right side of your screen. Look up real quick. Take a look. 46 will be your high temperature on Tuesday of next week. So this 60-degree business is not sticking around for more than the next 5 days.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out to I-24. This is going to be I-24 in the Manchester area. You can see it for yourself. Traffic out there moving a little slow because they are doing some construction out there. They have shut down one of the lanes, and that is causing some delays back behind you. You can see a long line, tractor trailer after tractor trailer after tractor trailer there on I-24. So heads up in that area. The other area we're watching, of course, is to the north side. This is going to be coming out from Clarksville. A slow down here because of paving work they're doing on I-24, so heads up on that. We're also continuing to follow a slowdown downtown. This is I-40 at Broadway, right at the exit there. We're going to tell you the best way to deal with that is we're starting to see the backup here from that particular crash coming up in a few.
Justin, thank you. We have an update this Wednesday morning. We have previously told you about Michaela Carter. Police say a man ordered to stay away from Michaela Carter shot and killed her. And officers say that happened just minutes after speaking with Metro Police. Well, now Carter's mother will receive $250,000 from Metro government to settle this particular wrongful death lawsuit. She also, though, asked for policy changes for Metro Nashville Police. Now, one Metro council member taking the opportunity last night to personally apologize.
I have faith in our police department, but the officer who failed this woman shouldn't be here anymore, and unfortunately he still is. And whatever can be done for that to be rectified, I promise I will be looking into that. This is a pittance to offer someone for the loss of a life that could have been prevented. And I'm very sorry. Again, ma'am.
That was Metro Councilmember Joy Stiles speaking again last night. Some changes will also be made following Metro's internal investigation into Carter's death. For example, body cameras will now be on when talking to domestic violence victims. Officers must also now send a rapid be on the lookout message for suspected order of protection violators. If you want some more updates about this particular case, go to fox17.com.
6:22 is your time right now. The University of Tennessee might have an edge in the lawsuit against the NCAA. We'll tell you what one judge had to say in the legal battle. Plus, a recap of a match that was a real struggle for one team. We'll tell you what's next on the horizon for both Kentucky and Vanderbilt on the hardwood.
We also want to take a second just to say thank you for waking up with us here every morning. We're your only local station with.
Visit budgetbreaks.com. Breaks starting at just $100. Alignment starting at $59.99.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Ponce Law.
6:25 is the time here on this Wednesday morning. We do want to provide you an update about the University of Tennessee's battle with the NCAA. That is where a judge has now lifted a temporary restraining order granted after Tennessee's Attorney General sued the NCAA. But yesterday's ruling says that Tennessee is likely to prevail in their antitrust lawsuit against the NCAA, as Tennessee is being investigated for discussing name, image, and likeness endorsements with recruits.
Yeah, I mean, and that's really what experts were saying from the get-go. I mean, from the jump of this lawsuit, it was overwhelming support behind the University of Tennessee and the states now involved. UT says the NCAA rules are vague and illegal. So we will follow this story as it unfolds. Also, speaking of sports, hey, when Vanderbilt basketball welcomed Kentucky into the arena, it did not go down so well for the home team. In fact, the number 17 Wildcats pretty much ran over the Commodores, and the final 109-77.
Yeah, that's 32 points on the win. Rob Dillingham finished the game with 20 points. Then watch this. Is this the, look at that. Is that the NBA slam dunk competition all of a sudden now? Memorial Gym? This is what's going on. Vanderbilt will try it again against South Carolina. Kentucky will go on to play Gonzaga a little bit later this week as well.
Hey, speaking of the sports headlines of the morning, if you have football knowledge, we would encourage you to put it to the test because it could make you some money. How about a $100 Visa gift card? Hey. It's part of our big game trivia contest happening right now. Here's how you get entered to win. You scan that QR code that's on your screen. It will give you a link. You tap that link and then you register to answer the question of the day. And again, this is all sports related, football knowledge. So you get it right and you could win that $100 Visa gift card and be entered to win the $5,000 weekly grand prize. Good luck. Alrighty, forecast time right now. Greg is working on a couple of weather projects and left three things you'll want to know today. So these are our cliff notes, as we like to call them. Basically back to the 60s today, so a beautiful day on tap. Much warmer temperatures the next 5 nights, but we have several rounds of rain moving in Friday through Monday. So those are the 3 things to know in your weather headlines. We'll check in with Greg in just a few minutes to get more in-depth on your forecast.
Steer clear traffic at Good News if you're going around to downtown Nashville. This is a live look here at I-40 from the Broadway camera. I believe this is around Church Street, though. Looks like emergency crews have left the scene of a disabled car there on the shoulder of the road. We're going to tell you the best ways to deal with this as the morning goes on.
Work is underway on a particularly bad stretch of potholes on one Nashville road. We'll take you there with a closer look at the repairs being made.
And this year, there could be a bill.
News Code Red Weather app.
Watch Fox 17 News at 9 for Code Red Weather, helping you prepare before storms impact your neighborhood. Watch Fox 17 News at 9. Alerts, empowers, protect. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
6:31 right now, and on Fox 17 News This Morning, a former state lawmaker says he was forced to resign, who he says he was being forced to protect. Couple live looks here from Nashville to start your morning. We begin with a live look into downtown Nashville. Sun reflecting off the high rises. Looks a little hazy to start the day. We'll chat with Greg in just a couple of moments to see how things are shaping up.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-40. This is at the Broadway camera, but it's the Church Street exit. We're going to tell you the best ways to steer clear.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're your live local news source, always here for you through 9 a.m. And a story that's developing right now, a former state lawmaker is suing to get access to records connected to his own sexual harassment investigation.
Former Representative Scotty Campbell, right here on your screen, stepping down last spring. He now says he was forced to do so in order to go ahead and protect Representative Jeremy Faison. Campbell says evidence is being withheld to shield Faison and is requesting state records related to this particular complaint. Well, Faison responded to the claims saying, quote, "The story is meritless." You can find a full copy of this lawsuit filed by Campbell by going to our website, fox17.com.
We're also looking into all of the ins and outs of the governor's State of the State address from just a couple of days ago, where one of his promises, Governor Lee's promises, was to bring about a bill that would give parents tools that they need to oversee their children's social media activity. The question we're asking is, what kind of enforcement would be likely here in a bill like this?
Yeah, and it's an idea that's top of mind for so many parents. Right now, Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar filling us in on what the bill could mean for children's mental health.
On Monday, Governor Bill Lee was here at the Capitol behind me for his State of the State address, talking to the Tennessee General Assembly and others that gathered to listen to his vision for 2024. A part of that vision was proposing legislation that would protect kids from social media usage. The bill would require social media companies to get parental consent before their kids could sign up to social media platforms. Social media platforms like Instagram or TikTok. Reports show that kids who use social media have been linked to mental health illnesses like anxiety and depression. Jason Gibson, a therapist, tells us why that age group is most impacted. Take a listen.
As you become an older teenager, like 18, 19, 20, you have more emotional intelligence and capacity to navigate the nuances of the digital world because of your experience compared to children when they're younger.
I reached out to Governor Bill Lee's office to inquire about that bill. We are working to find out how it's going to be enforced and when it plans to be filed, among other things. Reporting in front of the Capitol, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
6, and before checking on your forecast here this morning, the big weather story is today is back to the 60s. Waves of weekend rain. We have 3 different rounds that'll move in that will total up from 1 to 3 inches of rain depending upon where you live. So we'll take a look at who gets the heftier totals in about 5 minutes from right now. Cooler next week though, so enjoy the 60s while they last. Also, tomorrow the wind picks up. Not a terribly windy day, but average wind speed around 15 miles per hour, gusts as high as 25 to 30 miles per hour during the afternoon. So let's play an old game of where's my trash can at? Well, it will be breezy. It's just one of those things where maybe if it's emptied at that point, might get knocked over by a little bit of a breeze, but it's not going to be one of those days where you're trying to do the scavenger hunt to find your stuff down the street. As I mentioned, though, the pattern in the forecast starting on Friday gets very wet, 1 to 3 inches of rain by the time we're done with the weekend.
Steer clear traffic for you out there. Let's take a look at what we got going on at I-40 at Broadway. This is in downtown Nashville. This is the Broadway camera, but it's the Church Street exit. So if you jumped off and trying to get over near NES, for instance, over towards Nashville Electric Service, that is where this particular crash is and could slow you up just a little bit. You can always take Charlotte. That's the next exit to try and maneuver around this because it is causing slight delays. Other than that, we're good to go as you get out the door here at the 6:30 half hour.
Justin, thank you. Talking about driving, we have an update on the road conditions across Middle Tennessee. We're sharing a photo right behind us here of a string of potholes that we told you about over on Bell Road. This is a mess. No.
I mean, this looks like the kind of thing where you just need to scrape it up and start over. And that's essentially what NDOT is having to do here. It is just that bad. In fact, one day after our Fox 17 news crews called NDOT about this stretch of road, they were out there getting to work, patching up the potholes yesterday. And they did go in and remove that entire stretch of damaged road. They leveled out the area and then worked on the repaving. This is between Couchville Pike and Heron Point Drive. Drivers telling us that the section between Smith Spring Road and Blackwood still needs some work. But NDOT is telling us that this area is maintained by the state, and that portion of Bell Road will be fixed later.
Okay, so we want to hear from you always. We're asking this question over on our Fox Nashville X account. Have you noticed any improvements in the potholes on Middle Tennessee roadways? Look at this number. 68.3% of you all say no. I would encourage you, though, to share your pothole updates with us. If you're seeing a big problem in your area, let us know. We certainly want to get some answers for you. Go to our X account at Fox Nashville and go ahead and sound off on the pothole debate.
At 6:37 right now, we go to Montgomery County this morning where we have an arrest that's been made. The man you see here on the screen, the one that police took in, but police say they still need your help when it comes to finding that man's victims.
Plus, critical medications are in short supply, even for hospitals. What medical experts told us the U.S. government needs to go ahead and do.
Still to come on Fox 17 News this morning in our 7 o'clock hour, which we're about 23 minutes away from. Julian's Law.
Call 615-208-9090 or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust.
Good morning, 6:39, taking a look at the weekend ahead and detailing the rain chances. We've been talking about it all week, and now we're getting closer and closer. Tomorrow night into Friday, the chance for rain is going to pick up. Now, the rain that we get on Friday, very light in scope. The rain we get on Saturday, especially the first half of the day, will be a little bit heavier, as will the rain Sunday into Monday. So here's the exact timeline for you. 3 a.m. This is Thursday night into Friday morning to 7 o'clock. You can barely pick out the greens and the pinks, or the greens and the light grayish greens here. That means light rainfall. When we do go into the stages of Saturday, this is going to be Friday night into Saturday. The rain picks up a little more steadily Friday evening into the overnight, and then the first half of Saturday as well. The more north and west we get, the lighter the rainfall will be, and the less we will end up seeing. The more south and east we go of Nashville, the more rainfall we'll end up getting. Some of those areas could have 2 to 3 inches of rain by the end of Sunday into Monday. You want the umbrella and to know that at any point during the weekend, there will be some rain on the radar. So get the Fox 17 Code Red Weather app. You can watch the radar when you're on the go.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-40 at Church Street at the exit. That's where authorities are working on a crash there, and it is backing things up there at the exit. What you want to do is try to use either Charlotte or Broadway, one of those exits, instead of jumping off at Church Street. That's the best way to get you to steer clear, even though, yes, I know, Charlotte doesn't have a standalone exit from this direction. You have to take the Charlotte and Church Street exit are combined, actually. So you're going to have to take Broadway. That's going to be your only bet to steer clear. Overall drive times look like this. A lot of yellow coming down from Clarksville.
Operation Crime and Justice right now. We go to Montgomery County and Clarksville, where police make an arrest in a fraud case, but they still need help from you. So let's take a look first at the man arrested. This is 31-year-old LaQuinton Tillman. According to police, he used counterfeit money to buy things from people who were selling items on Facebook Marketplace. They've already found some of the victims that were on Facebook Marketplace, but police think there are more out there. So again, counterfeit money. If you sold items to this man, police in Clarksville would really like you to give him a call.
Medical professionals are sounding the alarm about prescription drug shortages. Now, experts are testifying before U.S. lawmakers just yesterday about the basic life-saving drugs that they say are oftentimes in short supply. Those include generic ingestible drugs that are considered a staple in several hospitals, like painkillers and cancer treatments. Now, the experts say there are now more than 250 active medication shortages. There have been a handful of congressional hearings on this issue. The White House has set up a special task force to try and look at it. The Biden administration announced that it will invest in key materials for drug manufacturing.
Well, the NTSB is releasing their preliminary report on last month's Alaska Airlines door plug blowout. We're going to break down the report's findings.
And chaos in California after...
Who is the celebrity behind the relative?
You won't believe who we reveal next.
Tonight at 7 on Fox 17.
Hey there, welcome back. 6:45 is the time right now. Let's get to some national headlines. It's been more than a month now that we had that mid-air blowout of a door panel on a Boeing 737 MAX 9 jet. Well, the new chief of the FAA is now trying to reassure lawmakers and, quite frankly, the public that Boeing is going to be held accountable for what happened there.
Plus, the NTSB also releasing a preliminary report on this particular incident. Fox News' Mark Meredith has the story.
The need to be vigilant on safety came clearly into focus on January 5th.
The FAA says what happened on Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 a month ago has sent shockwaves through the aviation industry. A section of a Boeing 737 MAX 9 ripped open moments after takeoff. An NTSB preliminary report finding multiple bolts were missing from a door panel inside the plane's midsection.
We've begun an audit of Boeing's production and quality control practices, and we've informed Boeing that the FAA will not grant any production expansion of the MAX until we're satisfied the quality control issues uncovered during this process are resolved.
While no one was seriously hurt in January's incident, the mishap prompted the temporary grounding of MAX 9s. The planes all undergoing weeks of inspections with door plugs being scrutinized to ensure they were no longer loose. MAX 9s have since resumed flying, and the head of the FAA says he would fly on the plane if he had to.
Yes, I think that was a very thorough inspection process, and the mechanical fix to that defect, we have a high level of confidence that takes care of the problem.
And so you'd fly on the 737-9 MAX?
Yes, I would.
But the NTSB says there is still an ongoing investigation into the incident and that it plans to conduct more reviews with Boeing employees to ensure similar accidents are prevented. The preliminary report did not say who may have removed the bolts on the Alaska Airlines plane at the center of this probe, and a final report is expected to take several more months. In Washington, Mark Meredith, Fox News.
Mark, thank you. We also this morning have an important recall alert as General Motors has recalled more than 300,000 trucks. So you do want to hear this message.
Yes, so we understand that tailgate electronic release system might shortcut when it gets wet. In other words, you know, a short circuit kind of a problem. Now, these are the newer trucks. We understand if that short circuit happens, that could cause the tail hitch to come unlatched. That tailgate could drop down while you're driving down the road. And that's certainly something you don't want to have happen.
There have been hundreds of reports of this happening since September of 2020. GM plans to go ahead and notify impacted owners in mid-March, but that's a while from now. The recall includes certain Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra trucks as well. We do have this recall alert posted over on fox17.com.
Hey, let's take you live right now to the heart of Nashville in the Gulch, where the sun's up and we're getting a better view of the construction work that is back in action today after part of Division Street collapsed last week.
Yeah, it was a mess. And right now, Fox 17 News photojournalist David McClure giving us the live look that's on your screen here. Metro Codes called for a stop work order on the construction site last week until the area was once again stable. Metro Councilman Jacob Coupin met with the construction company yesterday, and he told Fox 17 News it does not look like Yates Construction was at fault for this collapse.
Hey, check this out. Speaking of a collapse, look at the cliffside in Santa Barbara County, California, where intense rain has now caused that cliff to give way. A mudslide underneath, the rock comes falling down, and these homes are left dangling on the edge. Now, as you might imagine, officials came in and evacuated all 4 of those townhomes right there. Inspectors conducted evaluations. Get this. All right, so you're looking at this with us. What are you seeing?
I'm seeing that, well, my fence is dangling from a cliff.
Right, so there's essentially a cave, a hole that's formed under the back patio. You've got these townhomes right on the edge of the cliff that's already given way. So listen to this. Would you be shocked to hear that the evaluator said it was okay for everybody to go home? Would that surprise you? It surprised me.
Nothing surprises me anymore, but I'm just looking at this and thinking there's no way that I'm getting inside of that house.
How would you deem that stable? Because one rock shift under that patio and it's gone.
And to your point, what information do they have that we don't have that they look at this and say, this is a good situation? You're fine. Everything's fine.
Now listen, that's a whole nother pay grade. You know that whole saying, like, that's above my pay grade. So there are definitely people smarter than us on those issues. But on the surface and just looking at it, you're right. You couldn't convince me to go back in that house.
I like living on the edge. That's a
But
little
not
too,
like that.
It's a little too much. I also wouldn't mind owning a houseboat at some point.
To your point,
I want my house to become my boat. So I'd like to
you know what I think about? The dog going in the backyard and the dog's thinking, well, hold on a second.
What backyard?
Too much weight on that back patio? Another rock shifts underneath of it? No, thank you.
I like being on smooth, solid ground.
We like being here in Middle Tennessee.
Yes, we do. Taking a look at your dog at the daytime. And we've been hearing all the remembrances of Toby Keith's passing. And this is one here that was sent in yesterday where Dawn sent in this photo of her dog that she named Toby Keith. Toby was the first person that she ever saw in concert back in the 90s. So thank you for sharing the photo. Great dog walking this morning, afternoon, and evening. We'll be in the middle 60s later today. You can always share your photos on Facebook.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Funnel cloud sightings around the San Joaquin Valley's Tulare Basin. They prompted several people to share on Chime In. These funnels were spotted south of Tulare, also in Lemoore and Corcoran, and reports of the same in Bakersfield. This as a series of winter storms continue to trek across California. Meanwhile, it's feeling brisk in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and a beautiful sunset adds to the spice.
Clear, clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's take a quick look here on the north side of town. This is going to be in this case, Briley Parkway near Gallatin Pike. As you can see, traffic moving along up there really nicely so far there this morning. No big problems up there, even though the potholes are very heavy out there in certain portions of Briley Parkway. So heads up on that. Also continuing to follow that slowdown coming down from Clarksville this morning. They're doing road work out there where they've got one lane of 24 blocked off. We'll continue to watch the roads here for you.
Looking ahead to tonight on Fox 17 News, that is when we investigate a local effort to protect women from rape and sexual assault. It's a crime that impacts nearly 500,000 Americans every single year.
Statistics show that alcohol can play a big role in this crime. Teddy's Tavern is one of 2 bars on Broadway right now taking part in something called the Safe Bar Program. It helps train staffers to spot people in danger of sexual assault and how they can intervene. So why aren't other bars on board with this? Well, the general manager at Teddy's Tavern wonders the same thing.
I don't know why bars aren't taking these steps. I don't see why it wouldn't be proper protocol for every single bar to do this every single day.
Tonight on Fox 17 News at 9, our Amanda Chin pressing for answers about why more downtown businesses are not taking part.
6:53 right now, so just a few minutes before 7, and making it easier to spot AI-generated content. How can you spot a fake? We'll tell you why one social media giant says it's taking new precautions.
Also ahead right here on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning at 7. February is the month of love because of...
Save big on 4K TVs, computers, housewares, appliances, and more. Plus, get up to 36 months free financing. Score amazing deals in-store or online. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Hope your Wednesday is off to a fantastic start. Pretty sunrise.
Oh my goodness, this is beautiful, and more sunshine is on tap this Wednesday, but it's gonna stop. We have some showers, unfortunately, in the forecast.
Hey, if you're hustling and bustling around this morning and maybe you're trying to get out the door in the next few minutes, can you stop and just listen for a second? Just listen.
Oh, to the music.
Do you hear the light instrumentals in the background?
That is nice.
Just take a moment of zen. I know the kids are probably making you crazy and maybe you're running late. But sometimes you just need a moment, okay? Take a breath, right? And then carry on. We're here for you in more ways than one. Live through 9 a.m.
I feel like I can talk now.
Yeah.
Well, Iceland is preparing for its 3rd volcanic eruption in 3 months. The country experiencing its eruption back in December. We talked about that. Then again in January, following a series of earthquakes that truly just rocked this area.
Yeah, incredible video here as you look at it from the aerial perspective. All of these events have left cracks in the ground, all kinds of buildings shaken. Look at that one right there with the cracks to the foundation. That volcano, by the way, had been dormant for 6,000 years before becoming active again in March of 2021.
We're talking about gymnastics now. Olympic gymnastics champion Gabby Douglas is returning to competition, and this is going to be for the first time in nearly 8 years.
This is incredible. She's 28 years old now and announced just yesterday that she will be returning to the sport. I don't know if my daughter is listening this morning, but she's a gymnast. This is big news in that world. She helped the U.S. win gold at the 2016 Olympics, but then Gabby Douglas stopped competing.
Yeah, her first competition, though, going to be back in the Winter Cup, I should say, in Louisville, Kentucky. It's going to be February 24th, so this month. Douglas says her goal is to make it to the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics. And you know what? I think she's going to be well on her way.
I can't wait to see how she does.
I was wondering how your daughter would think about this because she does love gymnastics.
Oh, yeah.
So let us know tomorrow.
Okay, I'll check in. Okay, great. We'll check it in on the forecast now.
Let's do it. Let's take a look ahead to the upcoming weekend and put together the broad strokes of it that we're going to really unpack with a look at future track going into our 7 o'clock half hour. 64 degrees. That's the temperature on Saturday, 60 on Sunday. Now, both days will come with some rain. Have to have it. It's going to be there. We know about it. We've been talking about it. We're going to track it, though, hour by hour. Again, coming up in a few minutes. Not a washout, no severe weather, no flooding that we have to worry about. Warm days and warm nights. Today, carefree. 64 degrees. A few clouds will increase very late in the day. Those really high clouds you see up there, the cirrus clouds, not the big puffy ones that'll block out the sun. Taking a look at rain chances for Saturday and Sunday. The higher the bar, the more likely we are to see widespread rainfall. The overnight hours into the very early stages of Saturday, best chance for consistent rain across all of Middle Tennessee. And then you get into Sunday and throughout the day, we see things that will die down for us here. So rain chances die down overnight Saturday night into Sunday, and then they'll ramp up again Sunday night into Saturday. Again, we're going to track all that as we become your only live and local news source from 7 o'clock until 9.
Right now, steer clear traffic time. We're going to get you set before you get out the door at 7. This is the backup right now on I-24. This is I-24 right near the Waldron Road interchange, and it is a very slow roll this morning in from Smyrna and Murfreesboro for that fact. So just wanted you to know we definitely have that stop and go traffic. If you needed to take a detour, you could take Old Nashville Highway or Murfreesboro Pike to come in, whatever works best for you. We'll check in on the rest of your morning commute in just a couple of minutes.
Let's talk about technology. In the coming months, Meta says they are adding AI-generated artificial intelligence and generated labels to images created by third-party tools, trying to really crack down on this issue.
All right, so they're working with other firms right now, Meta is, to try to create invisible watermarks to identify those images. Meta says labels then will roll out across Facebook, Instagram, and Threads in several languages. Lawmakers and tech executives have raised concerns about artificial intelligence and the capability to produce realistic images. This is especially top of mind and of concern as we are into this 2024 presidential election season.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Right now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, tearful testimonies from the friends and family of the Belmont student shot and killed while she was on a run. We're going to share the very latest developments in the efforts to make Jillian's Law a reality.
64 and sunny today, but the weekend comes with 3 chances for rain, and do not get used to the 60s. A big cool down I'm tracking next week in your forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-40 at Central Pike, a slow go from the east side. I'll tell you the best drive times and ways to steer clear.
Thank you for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning on Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We've got you covered as your live local news source, always here for you through 9 a.m. So let's get started right now, new this hour, with your local headlines. This morning, House Bill 1640, also known as Jillian's Law, has passed unanimously through the House Criminal Justice Committee. Jillian's Law created in response to the death of Jillian Ludwig, who you see right behind us. She was an aspiring musician and a Belmont University student.
Well, the bill is designed to keep those deemed mentally incompetent accused of violent crimes from walking free. Jillian, you might remember this, was hit and killed by a stray bullet while walking in a park near her dorm. This happened last November. The man accused in her death, 29-year-old Shaquille Taylor. Well, Taylor had a long rap sheet, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. But instead of facing a conviction last April, he was deemed incompetent to stand trial, and his case was dismissed.
We were so mesmerized by the adult Julian was becoming. Confident, driven, beautiful, independent. Her mother and I were so proud. We had considered colleges in Philadelphia and other cities, but we felt that Nashville would be a place she would be safe. Instead, the laws and judicial system allowed a violent criminal to be on the streets.
Well, Julian's law now moves on to the next phase in the Tennessee House. And in the next 15 minutes, Fox 17 News reporter Kelly Avellino will join us right here in studio for a closer look at the bill.
One of the greats, an icon, a true patriot, his own man and gentle giant. Man, those are just a few of the star tributes honoring late country singer Toby Keith. Oh, they're just pouring in this morning.
They are, and Toby Keith, who sang classic songs like Should Have Been a Cowboy and Red Solo Cup, died after a 2-year-long battle with stomach cancer. This was the breaking news that we brought you all morning yesterday. Now, according to family members who posted on his Twitter page, Toby Keith passed away peacefully, surrounded by his family. Well,
last night, the Grand Ole Opry honored Keith with a moment of silence. And we also understand that over on Facebook, more than 800 folks chiming in, letting us know what your favorite Toby Keith song is. We're going to read some of those songs right now. What are you seeing, Jen?
Well, let's see. Rhonda Copeland Cap said, I love them all, but lately I love Don't Let the Old Man In. And someone commented on Rhonda's comment saying, you know, he wrote that song for Clint Eastwood. Interesting perspective there. Tiffany Bradshaw says, I love As Good As I Once Was. Darlene Allman said Red, White, and Blue. That's the song she's referring to there is courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, written after 9/11. Tony Hint said American Soldier.
Yeah, we were talking about that this morning, how popular that song is, and people talking about, you know, his love and support for the troops. So if you want to sound off and let us know what your favorite Toby Keith song is, go to our Fox Nashville Facebook, or you can also go to our Twitter account, and we want to share all your comments throughout this morning.
And also going to share Dog of the Day a little bit early here this morning because another remembrance here. This was sent in by Dawn, who loved Toby so much that was first country concert back in 1990, question mark, she said. Couldn't even remember how long ago it was, and she named her dog Toby Keith after him. 41 degrees for the dog walking forecast at 9 o'clock. 60 degrees at noon, 65 degrees at 3 p.m. We're looking good from start to finish when it comes to outdoor activities, whether that is a dog walk, you're walking just by yourself, or just want to sit outside and enjoy well above average temperatures. Taking a look, you can send us your Dog of the Day photos by going to Facebook. Meteorologist Greg Bobus, you just find that pinned post right there with that picture, and that's how you share them right here. Now, the weekend is going to come with rain. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will have rain on the radar, and it comes in waves. 3 different little systems that are going to move in. No severe weather, no flooding potential, but warm days and nights. Until we get to the end of Thursday, though, things are still nice. 64 degrees today, 61 tomorrow, and then we'll stay in the 60s into and out of the weekend before a big drop off in temperature. We'll be in the low to middle 40s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week.
Circular traffic for you this morning. Let's get you to I-24 near Hickory Hollow Parkway. The sun is up and the traffic has slowed down as you make that drive in from the Antioch area there. So far, we continue to see a very moderate traffic, heavy in certain spots, but no major accidents slowing you up. This is 40 at Central Pike and Hermitage, also doing pretty well. Overall drive times, here they are fresh out the oven for you. 75 minutes from Clarksville, 74 from Murfreesboro, 45 coming down from Hendersonville.
Well, new this morning, we have an update about a previous story that we told you about Michaela Carter. Police say a man who was ordered to stay away from Michaela Carter, who shot and killed her, that's what police said. Well, officers say that happened just minutes after speaking with police. Now Carter's mother is going to receive $250,000 from Metro government to settle her wrongful death lawsuit.
We have one Metro council member who took the opportunity overnight to personally apologize.
I have faith in our police department, but the officer who failed this woman shouldn't be here anymore, and unfortunately he still is. And whatever can be done for that to be rectified, I promise I will be looking into that. This is a pittance to offer someone for the loss of a life that could have been prevented. And I'm very sorry. Again, ma'am.
Well, some changes will also be made following Metro's internal investigation into Carter's death. For example, body cameras will now be on when talking to domestic violence victims, and officers must also now send out a rapid BOLO or be on the lookout message for suspected order of protection violators.
More stories to get to new this hour. Nashville's airport has big plans for the future. We'll tell you what that means for possible expansions with Justin McFarland in about 2 minutes.
And we want to let you know we are your only local station with traffic and weather updates live from 4 until 9. Taking some live looks across the Nashville.
The mold feeds off moisture in their crawl space. But don't worry, we got this.
At AFS, we'll do a home inspection for free.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Parking prices at Nashville International Airport continue to rise, and there's a reason for that. The CEO of the airport told state lawmakers just yesterday that parking is one of 3 main ways that the airport makes money. But he does admit that there is a balance that needs to be found, because it could charge airlines more money to use gates at the airport, but that has its own consequences.
If we take a reduction in revenue in one area like parking, then are we going to charge more for hot dogs, hamburgers, T-shirts, or those, or put it on the airlines? If we put it on the airlines, then they don't want to come to Tennessee because they're having to pay too much to operate out of our 5 airports. And so that's a real balancing act that we try to do to make it as efficient as possible.
So that's why it's easier to pull the parking prices more than some of the other things there at the airport. The CEO also says he wants to expand the reach of the airport as well with more direct flights to places like Central Europe. He says demand is massive with more than 500 people every single day who wake up in Nashville and want a direct flight to Europe.
7:11 your time. Taking a look at your code red forecast and tracking the rain. I mentioned 3 waves of it that are possible here throughout this week. Let's start breaking down the timelines for you. This is overnight Thursday into Friday. This is when the first raindrops begin to fall over a 4-day span. This is going to be 3 a.m. until 7 o'clock. Notice the color of the green. It's very light, even a little bit of gray mixed in, meaning very light rainfall, and not necessarily going to be an all-day rainmaker on Friday by any means, but on and off showers for the morning and the afternoon. Overnight, the greens get darker. That means heavier rainfall begins to move in. Maybe a clap of thunder. No severe weather, but heavier rainfall does track in overnight going into your Saturday morning and throughout the day on Saturday. Also looking to be a little bit rainier, so that's the more consistent day for steady rainfall. More north and west we get, the lighter it will be. The more south and east we get, the heavier it will be. We get a little break Saturday night into early Sunday, and then late Sunday night into Monday is the last round that moves in. By the time we're all done with this, 1 to 3 inches of rainfall will come down, with the largest amounts being in our southeastern counties.
Clear, clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get started here at let's see, where are we here? This is going to be I-24. Yes, I-24 at Harding Place. Sorry, I got a lot going on. I-24 Harding Place. You make that drive into town here this morning. Things moving along very, very nicely, though, even though we do run into some pockets of congestion. And we're also running into some pretty slow traffic and accidents and disabled vehicles like this one. This is going to be I-40 as you make that drive in from the east side near Spence Lane and the Fessler's Lane area. So heads up on that. Other than that, though, no major accidents that are tying you up. Well, coming up, Jillian's Law is now one step closer to becoming a reality. Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino has the very latest on the testimonies and where the bill will go from here. And following the repairs over the weekend at the...
Unbelievable! Join the Oak Grove Players Club and win up to $1,000 free play just for signing up. Oak Grove Racing, Gaming, and Hotel. All kinds of awesome.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. 7:15 is the time. Jillian's Law taking another step forward at the State House last night, and that happened amid a strong showing of support.
The bill closes a loophole that allows defendants charged with violent crimes to be released back on the streets without conviction. Joining us right here, Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino. And what's the update this morning?
All right, well, Jillian's parents testified again yesterday with her roommate from Belmont University and some other friends. As Jen said, a very intense showing of support for this law. I could tell you the bill passed yet another phase with a unanimous vote there. Now, this all stems from the harrowing murder of 18-year-old Jillian Ludwig last November. She came to Nashville, we know, from New Jersey to study at Belmont, music business. She was an incredible singer and very, very talented. In a park, though, just a few months ago, a couple blocks from her dorm, she was killed by a stray bullet. The shooter having a disturbing criminal history, 29-year-old Shaquille Taylor, having been charged of robbery and aggravated burglary in the past. 2 years ago, he was charged with opening fire into a car with 2 children inside. A judge dismissing that case after a court-appointed doctor found that he was incompetent to stand trial. Here's the loophole, though. They said he was not not incompetent enough to be committed into a facility for mental health. So he walked. 6 months later, he opened fire. Now, this new law would make any defendant of major crimes who's competent to stand trial committed into a mental health facility, or it would ensure that the defendant receives those services and close oversight from medical professionals.
Kelly, you know, we've been talking about this story throughout the course of the morning and appreciate you being here now to give us this update. New this hour, we've learned that there is a sister bill accompanying this Jillian's law. What would that do?
So it's not just defendants of major crimes here that we're talking about in Jillian's law. This sister bill, also proposed by Representative William Lamberth, would make all health evaluations, mental health evaluations for defendants in misdemeanor crimes funded by the state. Right now there's a gap in funding. Counties carry the bill for those mental health evaluations, and sometimes there are gaps. This would make sure that everybody who needs a mental health evaluation, if they cannot stand trial, gets it, and the misdemeanor offenders tend to repeat offend over and over and over, like dozens of times.
They're trying to stop that cycle.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Kelly Avellino, thank you so much for breaking all of this down. And if you do want to read more about your coverage and the sister law that's going to be happening with this, go to fox17.com.
7:18, taking a look at your forecast here this morning on a Wednesday. A great day, back to the 60s later on this afternoon. Temperatures right now are beginning to get a little bit warmer, and they will gradually get back to at least 45 degrees right around 10 o'clock this morning. Before we get to the 60s this afternoon, much warmer temperatures at night. This morning has been a bit of a cold one. We dropped right near 30 degrees. But we're going to be in the 40s the next 2 nights and near 50 going into the weekend for nighttime temps. Multiple rounds of rain Friday through Monday. We just tracked that a few moments ago, and we'll continue to get updates throughout the morning and throughout 9 o'clock. We'll get you a brand new look at the tracks as we go into our 7:30 half hour. This morning, though, a few patches of some fog have been noticeable. Grab the sunglasses. The sun is up, and you can see it's not a crystal clear picture of downtown, and it's also not a crystal clear picture on a few of our neighborhood side streets as well. But it's nothing too dense. There are no advisories out there. 7-day forecast gives us 5 days in a row at or above 60 degrees today through Sunday. And enjoy it while it lasts, because next week, 51 on Monday. The rest of the week likely going to be in the 40s for high temperatures.
Steer clear traffic this morning. We are trying to steer clear of that fog and haze that Greg was just talking about. Here's a good shot of it here. I-40 at Harding Place. I promise it's there underneath some of that fog that's present there in the Antioch area, but it can slow things down as you make that drive in, so heads up, may want to keep those headlights on for a little bit as you cut through Antioch. It's not like that everywhere, though. This is going to be 65 at Moores Lane as you make your way through the Franklin area, looking pretty good over there. We're going to continue to follow the traffic for you, let you know exactly what we find.
Justin, thank you. We have continuing coverage this morning talking about construction that is back on in the Gulch after a brief pause following a road collapse that we talked about last week.
Yeah, we've got the video here to show you what we're talking about. This was an ongoing construction zone where Yates Construction is putting up high rises here. Well, when the road collapsed, which is what we're seeing, Metro Codes put a stop work order for Yates Construction. They wanted to do that just to make sure this area was stabilized and didn't get any worse.
Metro Councilman Jacob Coopin walking through the site with the construction company yesterday. Well, now he says they have worked on ways to go ahead and move forward. Coopin telling Fox 17 News that it does not look like Yates Construction was at fault.
This morning, we are back on Pothole Patrol. Come on over.
Yeah.
Pothole Patrol and looking at some of the worst spots in the mid.
Going on now. With everything on sale, you'll find huge deals throughout the store, including hot buys now up to 50% off. The President's Day sale going on now, only at Ashley.
Welcome back. 7:24 is your time. Taking a look at the upcoming forecast for your weekend. Today we can handle in one sentence. Today will be 64 degrees and mainly sunny. There we go. Easy one. Weekend, 64 on Saturday. Not so easy to handle, though, because the morning into the afternoon, some steady rainfall likely for many of us. Sunday, 60 degrees. Rain chances not as extensive as what we're going to see on our Saturday, but they will still be there. Hit and miss showers for your Sunday, but that scattered rain chance on Saturday will be felt by much more of us than Sunday. Taking a look here. Here's how you work this graph. Make it easy. Big bar, good chance for rain. You look at the time, you go, okay, morning hours of Saturday, you're going to wake up to some rain coming down. Sunday, though, by the time we get to the morning hours, the rain dies down. So it's a small stair step down throughout Saturday into Sunday. And then Monday, we'll have one last push of not only some rain, but cooler air that begins to move in. We'll go from that 64-degree temperature on Saturday, 60 on Sunday, 48 hours after that. On Sunday to Tuesday, we'll go from 60 of a high to 46 degrees. Cooler air, almost winter-like air, returns going into next week.
Steer clear traffic for you. Let's get started here on the Vietnam Veterans Boulevard area. This is coming in. Oh, excuse me. Excuse my mess there. Vietnam Veterans Boulevard, as you make that drive in from the Sumner County area, there it is, around New Shackle. Things are very slow for you coming out of Sumner County. Last check, drive time from Nashville to Hendersonville into Nashville was around 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Now, at this point, no major accidents have we been able to find as you make that drive in. Just heads up on that. Here is a look coming in from I-24. This is at Waldron Road, making that drive in from Rutherford County. As you can see there, traffic is also doing okay, even though we are seeing some slow spots in many areas across the mid-state here. This is just congestion. So far, we are not seeing any major accidents that are slowing us up, but that is something that we will continue to watch. Also, I want to take a look at your drive times overall. Clarksville to downtown in 75 minutes. Murfreesboro to downtown, that's part of that look I just showed you. 74 minutes coming in from Rutherford County. And there's that look from Hendersonville. 45 minutes in from Sumner County this morning. Again, we have not been able to find any accidents. This is just slowdowns that we've seen out there. We'll continue to find things and follow things as the morning goes on. Steer clear traffic live and local with you through 9 o'clock.
We have a Tennessee legislative staffer suspended. We'll tell you what one representative says happened in a hallway at our state capitol. And the University of Tennessee might have an edge in that
Borough. Bid live or online Saturday, February 10th at 10 a.m.
See us on the web at ComusMontgomery.com.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by U.S. Pest Protection. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, continuing coverage of the school choice debate. What supporters and opponents are saying following Governor Lee's State of the State address.
Waking up this morning with a little bit of patchy fog out there in some spots. This will lift going into the afternoon, but temperatures are cold, upper 20s and low 30s. Let's talk 60s and then weekend rain coming up in your forecast.
Steer clear traffic coming down from Vietnam Veterans Boulevard near New Shackle Island. A slow go on that drive through Sumner County. We're going to tell you the best ways to steer clear.
A lot to get to, but we do want to start by thanking you for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news team, always here for you through 9 a.m. Our top story this half hour takes us to our state capital in Nashville, where a legislative staffer is on leave without pay. State Representative Justin Jones of Nashville says he yelled at him. It happened in a public hallway.
Well, the aide works for Representative Tory Harris. Jones says an independent investigation was conducted, and it was determined that the staffer would be suspended. The staffer begins getting paid again on the 16th, but the suspension does continue on until May.
Crisis in the classroom this morning. The battle over universal school vouchers here in Tennessee, and some people believe education dollars should follow the child, while others believe that public money should only go to public schools.
It's a big debate. Expanding school vouchers is the centerpiece of Governor Bill Lee's vision for the future and a key component of his 6th State of the State address. Opponents and supporters certainly making their voices heard. Listen right now.
A recent poll found that 85% of Republican voters support the concept of the money following the child. So this is a no-brainer.
We have underfunded our schools in Nashville for an entire generation. We haven't put the money into public schools that have been needed. We have one of the lowest amounts of public dollars going into public schools.
Keep in mind here, 10 other states have gone ahead and approved universal vouchers in the past 2 years. That does include neighboring Arkansas. We also want to let you know the governor's bill has yet to be filed, but a leaked version was criticized for containing no provision for accountability.
7:31 right now, and an update on the University of Tennessee's battle with the NCAA. A judge lifted a temporary restraining order granted after Tennessee's Attorney General sued the college sports governing body, but today's ruling says Tennessee is likely to prevail in its antitrust suit against the NCAA.
By the way, bringing you up to speed on this, Tennessee is being investigated for discussing name, image, and likeness endorsements with recruits, talking about NILs. UT says the NCAA's rules are vague and also illegal.
7:32, your time taking a look at what is new this morning as you're waking up. Maybe you just had that alarm go off a few minutes ago and you're wondering, what are we getting into? Today, right side of your screen, or I should say just temperatures in general, upper 20s to right near 30 degrees. Rainy, though, for the end of the week. No rain until we get toward Friday. Then multiple waves of rain track through the area. One very early Friday into the afternoon, light rain. The second one moves in Friday late in the evening into Saturday. Saturday, the rainiest day of the weekend by far. Heaviest rainfall going to come down to our southeasternmost counties. Think Nashville on south and to the east. So the more north we get, the better shape we'll be in when it comes to how many hours worth of rain. Foggy situation developing overnight into this morning, but that will lift here in the coming hour or two as temperatures finally start getting warmer. You can get your breakfast, get up, get moving, and you should be okay. Grab the sunglasses again, though, just like yesterday. We're starting off mainly sunny. 48 degrees by 10, 54 degrees by 11 o'clock, and then we get into the 60s later on this afternoon. So we're going to look at future track. It's re-racking right now, but I'm going to give you potential rainfall totals throughout the entire 4-day event first. As you can see, more to the north, less rainfall. More to the south, more rainfall possible. So this is going to be one of those times where you're going to have a lot of rainy hours if you get down toward places like Murfreesboro, Lewisburg, Tullahoma, Lawrenceburg. You get up into southern Kentucky, far fewer rainy hours. We'll take a look at that on Future Track and your 7-day forecast in the next check of your forecast around 6-7 minutes from right now.
Still clear traffic for you this morning. We continue to follow that drive coming down from Vietnam Veterans Boulevard near New Shackle Island Road. A slow go to be certain coming down from Hendersonville, from Gallatin, all points of Sumner County this morning. Bright sunshine in some portion, hazy fog in others. As a matter of fact, if you look back behind us, you can still see some of that hazy fog and some people still with their lights on driving in the bright sunlight. That's a key indication that they were in some heavy fog a few moments ago and now are driving in the sun. But it's not just there where there's a slowdown, it's also here. This is 65 at Dickerson as you make that drive in from the north side. 45 to 50 minutes overall on that drive coming out from Hendersonville. You could try Gallatin Road, you could try Dickerson Pike, but they too have their own challenges.
Justin, thank you. 7:34 is the time right now, and winning a Grammy is a dream for many musicians, but It was a dream come true at MTSU.
Yeah, several alum bringing home Grammy Awards, inspiring students, and also inspiring the community. Right now, Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us live over at MTSU inside of a recording studio there. That's so cool. Karen, what can you share with us? And good morning.
Good morning. Well, first I want to talk about those Grammy wins. Julian Baker, he's a member of Boy Genius, took home 3 Grammys. Lecrae is a Christian rapper, and he won Grammys as well, along with Engineers. Now, although this recording studio wasn't used by these winners, it doesn't mean that their wins didn't make an impact in the lives of students here at MTSU, and I'm here with Denise Shackelford, who shares a little bit of their experience.
Yes, thank you for having us. But as you said, Boy Genius was a big Triple Crown winner. Julian, when she was on campus, was a great alum. What
about the difference of that this is making in the lives of students?
Oh my gosh. I know that I can speak to it, but I think the students can probably speak to it better. But it enabled us, because of President McPhee and Dean Kill, we were able to take a group of students to LA to be a part of the Grammy celebration, to go to the Grammys, to visit studios and other industry executives.
Got it. Yeah, so absolutely. And you being an MTSU professor, you must be very proud. Coming up in the next half hour, we're going to be talking to, his name is Nick. He is a hip hop artist. We'll be sharing his experience at the Grammys. Reporting live at MTSU, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. Looking forward to that interview at MTSU. Coming up in education news, getting closer to closing a loophole in our criminal justice system. We're going to share the latest on the bill that aims to protect from predatory teachers.
They're famous for the biscuits, but a star-studded night at the Loveless Cafe. How Melodies for Minds aims to embrace mental wellness. So we'll take you there. Plus, giving you a live look right now. In fact, 2 of them as your only live local news source through 9 a.m. Things are looking pretty good in the heart of Nashville. A few traffic issues where you'll want to steer.
Call Bart Durham Injury Law at 615-242-9000 for a free case evaluation.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Ponce Law.
In Operation Crime and Justice this morning, there is a family of a man killed on a Nashville interstate that are still looking for answers after all this time. Christopher Spanhorst was shot and killed on Christmas Day back in 2022.
We understand that as of this morning, Christopher's family has raised the reward for information leading to an arrest to $25,000. What you're looking at here are screen grabs of TDOT cameras and other cars in the area that captured what happened on I-24 near Nissan Stadium Christmas Day of 2022. Some kind of a road rage case where whoever was in that dark colored sedan opened fire on Christopher Spanhorst as he was driving on the interstate, killing him again on Christmas Day. So the reward is now raised to $25,000. Call Crime Stoppers if you have any information that could bring about justice.
In education news, state lawmakers are working to close a loophole in the law designed to keep predator teachers out of Tennessee classrooms.
As it stands right now, teachers who are found guilty of offenses like statutory rape automatically lose their state license. But if they plead guilty or no contest, that revocation is not automatic. So an amendment to change that just took a big step forward.
There are systems in place that someone can make an appeal and have their license reinstated as long as everything is satisfied at the state board.
Now, the House K-12 subcommittee unanimously passed this bill, moving it one step closer to becoming law. Still needs to go to the full House and the full Senate, signed by the governor, all of that before it becomes law.
All right, it is Wednesday, February 7th, and Greg is here to tell us just enjoy the next, 24 to 48 hours in the weather department.
Next 48 hours could not be much better. Let's get you out the door first. And what you're getting into as far as the beginning of your day. We're waking up a little bit cold. Do not let that catch you off guard, because this afternoon we're going to go from that 36-degree temperature at 8 a.m. to 48 at 10, and then 60s later on this afternoon. Jen is so right. Please enjoy today and enjoy tomorrow, because if you don't want the doldrums of rain and gloominess to get in your way, well, these are the 2 days to do it then, because starting on Friday, we've got a rainmaker moving in that's going to be giving us multiple rounds of rain. Here is the beginning of that system Thursday night into Friday morning. Here's 7 a.m. on Friday. Light rainfall, not across the board, but it will be there. And then we continue through the afternoon on Friday with periods of light rainfall. We go Friday night into Saturday, and the rain picks up a little bit more, a little bit heavier. The darker greens settle in, maybe even a clap or two of thunder we could possibly be hearing here late in the day on Saturday. Then we go into Sunday. Morning hours into early afternoon dry out a little bit for us, and then one last push of rain moves in Sunday into Monday. So 1 to 3 inches of rain possible Friday through Monday, most of that coming on Saturday, and then Sunday night into Monday.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's take a look at I-24 near Hickory Hollow Parkway as you make that drive out there, coming in from the Antioch area, coming in from places like Smyrna, Laverne, Murfreesboro. Things are always a little bit slow this time of the day, and today is no exception. You can try to take Murfreesboro Road is a good way to steer clear. Nolensville Pike for some of you will help you get around some of that. This is 40 coming in from Smith's Lane. A little bit of fog. You see the cars over on the right-hand side of your screen driving off into the fog as you make your way in on this Wednesday morning.
And in your community right now, we head out toward Bellevue, where a star-studded event at the Loveless Cafe Barn benefits a nonprofit called Melodies for the Mind.
Oh, now the dinner and auction raises money to help people struggling with mental health to enroll in a year-long treatment plan that does include counseling as well as brain scans. Now, we caught up with some of the celebrities helping the cause on the red carpet.
My brother struggled with mental health, and we lost him 8 years ago, so it's definitely near and dear to my heart, and I just feel like, we're in a good place now with having more conversations about it. I think we're realizing more and more people do struggle from it.
It's normal, and it's okay to not be okay, and I feel like if I can teach just one kid that, then it makes it all worth it.
All right, last night's event hosted by Dr. Daniel Amen and reality TV star Jason Whaler.
Well, coming up on Fox 17 News, besides being Cupid's favorite time of year, February also...
Call away. Dial now for exclusive same-week VIP appointments. Not a VIP? No worries. Scan the QR code to book your standard chimney service online. Chim Chimney, where your comfort is our priority.
This morning on Fox 17 News, we are discussing heart health for this month. It's a big issue, top of mind.
Yeah, American Heart Month, and joining us live right now is Dr. Brian Long, Vanderbilt Heart and Williamson Health Chief of Cardiology. Good morning to you, Dr. Long. Thanks for joining us. We talk so much about doing what we can to stay healthy. What's the number one thing that you would want to bring to the forefront this month especially to help us all take better care of our heart?
Well, good morning. Well, this being Heart Month, we really like to raise awareness of heart disease and recognize that it is the #1 killer of American women and men. And preventive cardiology really focuses on risk factors for heart disease. Primarily, we want to make sure patients are seeing a primary care physician at least once a year to look for risk factors that are treatable, such as blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, smoking, other things that we can focus on and reduce the chances of developing heart disease.
Dr. Long, I'm also curious, can you share what you believe is a common misconception when it comes to heart health and just overall staying healthy?
Well, I think people like to believe that if they eat a healthy diet, for example, that they won't get heart disease, or if their family didn't have heart disease, that they won't. But heart disease is much more complex than that. There are multiple risk factors as I'd mentioned. And so I think a misconception would be that we can determine our own risk, right? Mm-hmm. It's important to have a physician guide us through that and really look for things that can be treated to lower our individual risk.
And one thing before we let you go, Dr. Long, I wanted to point out is the difference between men and women when it comes to symptoms or signs that something might not be right. How would you designate between the two?
Well, it's a good question. So acute heart attacks, for example, tend to present somewhat differently in women than in men. Mm-hmm. most will have some type of chest pain or pressure as a primary symptom, where men would also typically have the shortness of breath and classic symptoms, pain radiating down the arms and such. Women might just feel tired or nauseous, fatigued. Their symptoms aren't always classic heart attack symptoms, and so it's important to be aware of those kind of atypical presentations and seek care immediately.
All right, Dr. Brian Long, thank you so much for joining us this Wednesday morning. Some advice there that could save a life.
Absolutely. All right, 7:49 right now. We're going to send it over to Greg. And, you know, being outside and getting that exercise, especially when we're in the heart of the winter now, okay, right? So these days are few and far between in these winter months. So get outside, get a little walk, get some fresh air and some
All right,
sunshine.
let's go.
I know, I'm ready, right?
I'll take over. You all go outside and enjoy it. Taking a look at the forecast is really good. And these days are few and far between this time of the year. And you're going to even see it on the 7-day forecast. We're going to have a few days that'll continue to be in the 60s, but that's going to be cut off very quickly going into next week. What are we watching in the meantime? Friday through Sunday, rain, 3 waves of it. Severe weather threat, very low. Flooding risk, very low. Now you might see at the bottom of the right-hand side of your screen where it says potential rainfall 1 to 3 inches. That sounds like quite a bit of rainfall. And you might think, well, when we usually have that much, we talk about some sort of flooding. This is spread out across 3.5 days. That is why. Taking a look, though, visibility issues this morning in some spots. Keep that in mind. That will get better throughout the morning as temperatures get warmer. We are in the upper 20s and low 30s right now, though. And taking a look at our lunchtime forecast, 54 degrees at 11, 60 at noon, and 63 degrees at 1 p.m. Another good patio afternoon, if that's the kind of thing like to get into when it comes to a lunchtime. There we are. Friday is when everything begins to change. The rain moves in first. Sticks with us on Saturday, sticks with us on Sunday, and then Monday into Tuesday, rain chances go down, but so do the temperatures. Take a look right here. Spells it out. 64 degrees today, 61 tomorrow. Pair of 64-degree temperatures Friday and Saturday. The end of the week, though, the end of the 7-day forecast, 46 degrees by Tuesday of next week. That's the high temperature, not the low temperature.
Steer clear traffic out there this morning. Let's get you a live look here at Ellington Parkway near Ben Allen Road. Nice, smooth drive out there for you this morning using Ellington Parkway. Could save you a couple of minutes compared to getting onto I-65. So good news there. Speaking of 65, let's take you down to 65 in the Franklin area. Cool Springs, this is at McEwen at that particular exit there. Nice flow of traffic, even though things will start to bunch up the closer you get to Brentwood. Overall drive times like this. 46 minutes in from Franklin, 70 from Murfreesboro, 49 minutes in from Hendersonville. That's been the slowest drive of the morning by far.
Looking ahead now to tonight at 9, that's when we investigate a local effort to protect women from rape and sexual assault.
This is a crime, by the way, that impacts nearly 500,000 Americans every year. And the stats show that alcohol can play a big role in the crime. Teddy's Tavern is one of 2 bars on Broadway taking part in something called the Safe Bar program.
It helps train staffers to spot people in danger of sexual assault and then how to intervene. So why aren't other bars on board? The general manager at Teddy's Tavern, he wonders too.
I don't know why bars aren't taking these steps. I don't see why it wouldn't be proper protocol for every single bar to do this every single day.
Tonight on Fox 17 News at 9, our Amanda Chin pressing for answers about why more downtown businesses are not taking part.
7:52 is the time right now, celebrating the Asian and Pacific Islander community, previewing API night.
Carpet, hardwood, and laminate at a great price. We'll beat any competitive offer guaranteed. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
Good morning and welcome into Fox 17 News this morning. Just a few minutes before the top of our 8 o'clock hour and a live look from Metro Center. This is in the heart of Nashville. This is a camera mounted right on top of our station, looking out toward the Titans practice facility. More confirmation of more coaches added to the staff there as the two-tone blue get ready for the offseason and a brand new season that'll be here before you know it.
And talking about sports, you can score big with the big game trivia. So grab your phone and scan this QR code. You probably already have your phone in your hands anyway. Well, go ahead and scan this QR code for your chance to win a $100 Visa gift card. Register to play the Big Game Trivia Contest. Put your football knowledge to the test and you could win. Again, it's a $100 prepaid debit card or even be entered to win the $5,000 weekly winner prize. Best of luck.
Hey, sports headlines this morning. The Nashville Predators hosting their second annual Asian and Pacific Islander Night coming up this Saturday, which aligns with the start of the Year of the Dragon, the beginning of the Lunar New Year.
Yeah, the Preds working with a local artist to go ahead and develop the first ever API logo and jersey for the Preds. Showing you that, some video there. The night is going to also include performances from the Middle Tennessee Vietnamese Lion Dance Team and a Polynesian dance group. I like this.
Now, Olympic gymnastics star Gabby Douglas is coming back. It's been 8 years since she last competed, but here we go. She's 28 years old now and just announced that she will be returning to USA Gymnastics. She helped the U.S. win gold at the 2016 Olympics, but then stopped competing. Her first competition back will be the Winter Cup just up the road in Louisville, February 24th. Douglas says her goal is to make it to the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics.
It's hard to believe it's been 8 years. We're going to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist talking about the Wednesday forecast.
That we are taking a look at today's forecast. 64 degrees and sunny. Enjoy it. That's the afternoon. A little chill out there right now, but that will quickly become 64 by early in the afternoon. Same temperature we're going to see on Saturday. The difference is today is sunny. Saturday, some rain, especially the first half of Saturday, looking to be fairly rainy hour by hour throughout the morning and early afternoon. Sunday, a little different. Still some rain in the forecast, but not going to be raining as often or as much rainfall getting into the bucket on Sunday. 60 degrees will be your temperature on Sunday itself. Taking a look at how do you stay on top of everything when you're on the go and it's the weekend and you might not be plugged in to watching the TV or getting on websites. You can just get the Fox 17 Code Red weather app, and with one tap of the button, you can have the radar right there. You can check where the rain is at. If you're getting into or out of a shower quickly, so you can find the dry time to not get rained on. But if you have to head out in it, please have the umbrella handy the entire weekend. We're going to have quite a bit of rain, 1 to 3 inches by the time we are done and get into Monday.
Steer clear traffic for you. Let's get out to what we are looking at on I-40 at 46th Avenue. As you make that drive in from the west side of town, as you can see, traffic moving along without issue. We're doing okay. Couple of slowdowns here and there, especially as you make your way in places like Bellevue all the way into town. But there are no major accidents, at least, to slow you up. This is just congestion as people get out the door.
Promotional consideration for this program provided by Ponce Law.
Do you know someone who is a hometown hero doing some awesome things in our community? Because if you do, Fox 17 News, we would love to share their story.
Ponce Law and Fox 17 News have been teaming up for 3 years now as we find and award our local hometown heroes $1,000. And we have honored so many different types of people in our community, whether it's been teachers, church volunteers,
veterans,
doctors, police officers, firefighters, you name it. We have just had a ball honoring these folks in our community. And if you want to nominate somebody who you think qualifies as a hometown hero, you can do that right now through poncelaw.com/hometown hero. Every month we select a person to be featured right here on Fox 17 News.
Promotional consideration for this program provided by Ponce Law.
We also want to take a quick look at what's trending over on fox17.com. And it's this story, the last total solar eclipse in the U.S. until 2045. I mean, that's a long ways away. So if you want to check out more about this story, go to fox17.com.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, tearful testimonies from the friends and family of the Belmont student shot and killed while she was running. The latest developments in the efforts to make Jillian's Law a reality.
MTSU alumni win multiple Grammy Awards. Coming up in a few minutes, hear from a student that says their success inspires them.
The countdown is on. 48 hours until rain returns. 4 days worth of rain, 3 rainmakers, 2 days that'll be in the 40s next week, and all that's coming your way in your one Code Red weather forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us out to I-40 near New Hope Road. Things are slow in basically all directions. I'll tell you why.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. I think Greg just gave us the 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown. So we're going to check in with him on your forecast here in just a moment. But first, we want to get to a big local story that's making headlines here in the mid-state, and that is House Bill 1640. You might not understand that number, but chances are you will recognize the story behind it. We're talking about Jillian's Law, which just passed unanimously through the House Criminal Justice Committee overnight.
Jillian's Law was created in response to the death of Jillian Ludwig, a Belmont University story, a student, I should say. A very sad story here. The bill is designed to keep those deemed mentally incompetent, accused of violent crimes, from walking free. Jillian was hit and killed by a stray bullet while walking in a park near her dorm. It happened last November. Well, the man accused in her death is 29-year-old Shaquille Taylor. Taylor had a long rap sheet, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah, but instead of facing a conviction in that crime last April, he was deemed incompetent to stand trial. Case was dismissed. He walked free.
We were so mesmerized by the adult Julian was becoming. Confident, driven, beautiful, independent. Her mother and I were so proud. We had considered colleges in Philadelphia and other cities, but we felt that Nashville would be a place she would be safe. Instead, the laws and judicial system allowed a violent criminal to be on the streets.
Jillian's Law now moves on to the next phase in our Tennessee House. In the next 15 minutes, our Kelly Avellino joining us in studio for a closer look at this particular bill.
Yeah, you know, she's also going to talk about a sister bill that's going along with it, something new that's come about, so we'll dive into that. Hey, one of the greats, just an icon, a true patriot, his own man, gentle giant. Just some of the comments that have been flooding in, words from musicians. Many of you know them well. People like Dolly Parton, Daryl Worley, Ricky Skaggs, all sounding off after the death of country singer Toby Keith.
And we know he had so many classic songs like Should Have Been a Cowboy, Red Solo Cup, American Soldier. Well, he died after a 2-year battle with stomach cancer. Our breaking news yesterday. And according to loved ones, he passed away peacefully, surrounded by his family.
Overnight, also wanted to let you know that the Grand Ole Opry honored Toby Keith with a moment of silence. And what you're looking at here is the photo that they posted on their Facebook page from overnight. And you can see they dimmed the lights on the stage there and also in the audience as they held that moment of silence for the Grand Ole Opry member, Toby Keith.
And we had over 800 comments from you all sharing what your favorite Toby Keith song is. So we're showing you some of the comments over on our Facebook page. Tammy Renee writing, Made in America. Actually, you know what? They're all my favorite. A lot of folks had that to say. Nikki Blakely writing, Should Have Been a Cowboy. And then one more, Alicia Burnett said, it's hard to pick. There are so many iconic Toby songs.
And we'll continue the tribute right now with a photo I got sent yesterday by one of Toby's fans. And the dog name is Toby Keith. Her first concert, Dawn right there who sent in this photo. Toby was her first concert, and she says that, you know, she loved his music so much that named her dog after Toby Keith. So taking a look here, forecast for dog walking this morning, 41 degrees at 9 o'clock, 60 at noon, 65 degrees at 3 p.m. Really a very, very nice day from start to finish. This is going to be the best day we have in the next 7 to 10 days. And you'll see why in the 7-day forecast in about 10 seconds. Just know you can go to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus, find that pinned post. You can share your dog photos. Just need to know your name, your four-legged friend's name, and anything else you want to tell me, whether it's a story or where you guys live, and you'll see your photos right here on Fox 17 News this morning. Here's why today's the best day. Middle 60s, couple of clouds here and there, but then we keep the 60s and we bring in the rain. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, fairly rainy in the forecast. Once the rain is done, look at the right side of your screen. That's not a misprint. We'll go from 64 on Saturday to 46 degrees on Tuesday, and that is the beginning of several cool days in a row into next week.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's take a quick look here at I-40 near New Hope Road as you make that drive out and about there this morning. We are getting along, but we're doing so slowly no matter where you're coming from out there this morning. A big part of that is because of just congestion, lots of it as you get out there on the roads. This is pushing in from places like Mount Juliet, from Lebanon, and as you head towards places like Hermitage and Donaldson, you can always use Lebanon Pike as a good way to steer clear in that area. Overall drive times continue to be slow no matter where you're coming from, especially Hendersonville, 49 minutes from Sumner County.
Justin, thank you. 8:06 right now. And Fox 17 News following up on a story that's really hitting close to home in a good way. The number of Grammys that are coming out of MTSU. Now, we know that the Blue Raiders have put out some incredible talent over the years and really shining on the Grammy stage this year.
Absolutely. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us live inside the MTSU recording studio with some interesting updates. Hi there, Karen.
Hi there. Yes, that's right. Talent has come out of MTSU. MTSU alumni won multiple Grammy Awards, including Juliet Baker. She's a member of Boy Genius, and she won 3 Grammys. Lecrae also won Grammys along with Engineers. Now, I want to warn you that they did not use this recording studio, but it is the breeding grounds for talent. Now, I am here with Nick Edgerson, who likes to be called Nedge, and he is a student here at MTSU. Now, you attended the Grammys. How did it inspire you to see that these MTSU alumni were up there receiving their Grammys?
It was a really cool moment, honestly. Seeing them in that special place, winning that award, and being able to be in the audience of any award show in general is crazy. But the Grammys was incredible. It was such an inspiration to see them work so hard and to be able to come out of this university and do the things they've done. Really inspired me to want to do the same thing with my career.
Okay, last question really quick. How did being at the Grammys make your dream seem attainable?
Honestly, seeing some of the most influential artists sing some of my favorite songs was just enough to push me to, keep pursuing my dreams, letting me know that there is no limit on the possibilities if you just believe in yourself. And if people like this, universities like this are behind you, backing you, then there's no way that you can't win,
All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll have more from Nick coming up in the next half hour. Reporting live inside of MTSU's recording studio, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
I like that. The possibilities are endless from MTSU. Nashville's airport has a big plan for the future. What that means for possible expansions with Justin McFarland in a couple of minutes.
And you can see your weather updates every few minutes right here on Fox 17 News this morning.
Dining room, reclining furniture, and more.
Plus free next day delivery.
It's the B.F. Myers Furniture President's Day sale.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Ponce Law.
8:10 is the time. Nashville International Airport is set to open up. The brand new Hilton Hotel in just about 2 weeks. It is the latest in a massive expansion for BNA. But now the airport is looking to underline the international part of their name. The airport CEO told state lawmakers that they need to get more flights in and out of Europe because the demand is there.
There is a huge demand from Central Europe to come to Tennessee. It's we today, as an example, we have 565 people fly out of Nashville every day to go to Europe, but we only have 216 seats. So there's 300 people, 350 that have to go to Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas. We can support more nonstop flights to Europe.
It is unknown exactly when those flights could begin, but the airport authority says that they have an airport incentive fund just to help get those flights started. Again, they're still looking for the right partner.
8:11, we're waking up to some sunshine, temperatures upper 20s and low 30s, but we'll rebound back into the 60s later on this afternoon and keep the sunshine, just a couple of little cirrus clouds up there, so nothing to worry about later on today. This is what we have to look ahead to and start planning out. Our next chance for rain. Note the timestamp here. This is overnight, Thursday night into Friday morning. 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. rain begins to move in. Light green, light rain. We move a little bit later in the day for your Friday, and we remain with these patches of light rain throughout the day, not necessarily raining every hour, but there will be activity on the radar we have to monitor with the Code Red weather app. Taking a look, 7 p.m., the rain gets a little bit darker in green, and that takes over into the overnight hours and then into your Saturday. Saturday looking to be rainier now than it did even 24 hours ago. Keep that in mind. Saturday compared to Sunday will be the rainier day of the two. This is Sunday. Overnight, I should say, going into Sunday. Here's Sunday at 11 a.m. Not as bad as Saturday at 11 a.m., that's for sure. Taking a look, though, Sunday night into Monday, one last push of rain, and then colder temperatures going to move in. We'll go from 64 on Saturday to 46 degrees by Tuesday of next week.
Steer clear traffic. We got a real mess in our hands. Let's get you to I-40 near Belmont Boulevard. And yeah, we've got a car being towed out of the way there by a T-Dot truck, and they've got some debris to clear up before they can reopen the road. Again, this is going to be I-40 there on the south side of town. I-440, excuse me. I-440 on the south side of town at Woodmont Boulevard. That is where this crash is right now. We can tell you for a fact that you can try to take Thompson Lane as a good way to steer clear. They've got to clear up all of this before they get it out of the way and before they can reopen up more lanes. Let's show it to you here on our map. You can see it for yourself as that backup is going to go back all the way towards West Nashville. Thompson Lane right along here is going to be your best bet, or what becomes Thompson Lane anyway. It's going to be your best bet to steer clear. Well, following up on road repairs over in the Gulch. This is after parts of Division Street collapse. We've got the very latest update coming up in just a few minutes. Plus a star.
We make it happen.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Time right now is 8:16, and we have continuing coverage of this mess. This is part of the construction that is now back on in the Gulch after they had to stop work because the road collapsed. This is Division Street right there in the Gulch.
A big story last week. Well, Metro Codes called for a stop work order on Yates construction. Again, this was last week until the area was stabilized. Now Metro Councilman Jacob Coupin, we're hearing from him. He walked through the site with the construction company yesterday. They worked on ways to move forward. That's according to Coupin, who also says that it does not look like Yates construction was at fault. Listen to Coupin here.
From the conversations with NDOT and the conversations with engineers, it doesn't sound like this was a massive screw up on the company's part, but more so a set of unfortunate circumstances.
Coupin says with the recent snow and ice storm, a lot of water got under the roadway, causing that issue. But again, they're back up and running. So keep that in mind if you're going to be in the Gulch. Slow down.
Well, on the bright side of all this, Greg, is we have had several days now worth of great weather to get out and do the work necessary to make these roads more drivable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the more work done now, the better, because today and tomorrow, the last 2 days, it'll stay dry across the board. And then going into the weekend, unfortunately, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even into parts of Monday, rain on the radar periodically throughout that 4-day span. So we're back to the 60s today. Beautiful afternoon. Much warmer temperatures at night starting tonight, too. You're waking up right now in the upper 20s and low 30s. Tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up in the upper 30s and low 40s. Multiple rounds of rain, as I mentioned, Friday all the way through Monday. Not every day going to give us as much rain when it comes to totals or timing in terms of how many hours worth of rain we'll have. So we're going to break that down for you in about 5 minutes or so from right now. But just know that it's very nice until then. Take advantage of today and tomorrow as much as you can to get outside, because not only do we have the rain, I've got to show you the 7-day forecast for a couple extra seconds, because 60s all the way into and out of the weekend. But then Monday, rain turns off after the first half of the day. 51 degrees. Look at Tuesday. 46 degrees for the high temperature. That means that our nighttime temperature on Saturday will match our air temperature in the afternoon on Tuesday. Big cold front moves in. That's not the only day that's going to be on the cooler side next week. That's below average. Average is 51. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and possibly even Saturday have the potential to all be in the 40s next week. So 64, 65, and sunny later today. Find an excuse to head outside at some point during this afternoon.
Steer clear traffic for you. Let's get out to I-440. I-440 is where we're talking about on the south side of town as you make that drive in. They are continuing to try and clear up an accident that was happening right here in the far lanes. At one point, they had 2 lanes shut down. Now they're down to just, well, they still have 2 lanes shut down, but they've got 2 lanes open. At one point, only 1 lane was open as you make that drive in, so that is good news. They'll continue to move it over here to the shoulder. What you want to do is you can try to use Woodmont Boulevard right down here as you move towards I-65. But as you can see, the traffic on 440 is like, whoa, all the way back to I-40 there on the west side.
In your community, a star-studded event at the Loveless Cafe Barn to benefit a nonprofit that's called Melodies for the Mind.
This is an event that brought together a lot of folks who care deeply about mental health and awareness. The dinner and auction raising money to help people who are struggling with their health to enroll in a year-long treatment plan that includes counseling and brain scans. We caught up with some of the celebrities, many of them who live right here in Nashville, helping the cause on the red carpet.
My brother struggled with mental health and we lost him 8 years ago, so it's definitely near and dear to my heart, and I just feel like, we're in a good place now with having more conversations about it. I think we're realizing more and more people do struggle from it.
It's normal and it's okay to not be okay, and I feel like if I can teach just one kid that, then it makes it all worth it.
Well, if you would like to check out more interviews and video from last night's event, go to fox17.com and search Melodies for the Mind.
Looking ahead to Fox 17 News at 9 right now, we will be investigating a local effort to protect women from rape and sexual assault. That is a crime that impacts nearly 500,000 Americans every year.
Statistics show alcohol can play a big role in this crime. Teddy's Tavern is one of 2 bars on Broadway taking part in something that's called the Safe Bar Program, and we talked about that here on Fox 17 News. It helps train staffers to spot people in danger of sexual assault and then how to go ahead and intervene. Here's the question. So why aren't other bars on board? The general manager at Teddy's Tavern also wonders that too.
I don't know why bars aren't taking these steps. I don't see why it wouldn't be proper protocol for every single bar to do this every single day.
Tonight on Fox 17 News at 9, Amanda Chin pressing for answers about why more downtown businesses are not taking part.
It's 8:21 right now, and a live look on Lower Broadway. Things are active. We got some, construction zones that are still going on right now with updates to some of our honky tonks, and quiet at Bridgestone though right now, relatively speaking.
It's a hangout house. That's why I'm moving.
And get an offer on your house. Selling your home to Open Door is so easy. You can do it during halftime. Sign up for a halftime showing at opendoor.com.
Welcome back. Good morning. 8:24 here on your Wednesday, and good looking day. Look out your window right now. You can already see some sunshine out there, and that sticks with you all day long. A high will be in the middle 60s later on this afternoon, but a decent coat this morning, upper 20s to right near 30. Let's talk about the weekend. Not a washout at all, but rain possible both days, especially on Saturday. That's the rainier of the 2 days. No severe weather. Not worried about flooding. Warm afternoons and warm nights. Take a look at Saturday night. Saturday night's going to be down to 50 degrees, and then Sunday night 46 degrees. So temperatures pretty good looking despite the fact we're going to have quite a bit of rain that is moving in during that time frame. Higher the bar, higher the rain chance. Look at the time. Overnight Friday into early Saturday morning. Here's 7 a.m. Rain likely coming down for the majority, if not all of us. Rain chances die down throughout the afternoon hours, especially toward the evening, and then stay low going into Sunday. Sunday, much more of the hit and miss variety. Saturday, a little more of the steadier rainfall variety.
Clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get out to I-440 as we continue to follow that crash over there on the south side of town. We are dealing with 3 lanes that are open, 1 lane that is not, but this one crash has caused quite a backup. Let me tell you what it looks like right behind it, or show you better yet. This is I-40 near Murphy Road, very close to West End. You can see there's a crawl there, and the traffic backup is stretching back there for several miles. You could try to take Woodmont Boulevard. That's a good way to steer clear as you make that way in from the west side, or just give yourself an extra 10 to 15 minutes.
Right now we have an update to a story for you. We have previously told you about the story of Michaela Carter. Police say a man who was ordered to stay away from her shot and killed her, and officers say that happened just minutes after she had been speaking with Metro police officers. Well, now Miss Carter's mother will receive $250,000 from the Metro Nashville government to settle her wrongful death lawsuit against them.
Now, overnight, one Metro Council member, Joy Stiles, took the opportunity to personally apologize to the family.
I have faith in our police department, but the officer who failed this woman shouldn't be here anymore, and unfortunately he still is. And whatever can be done for that to be rectified, I promise I will be looking into that. This is a pittance to offer someone for the loss of a life that could have been prevented. And I'm very sorry. Again, ma'am.
Now, as a result of this settlement, changes will also be made following Metro's internal investigation into Miss Carter's death. For example, body cameras will now be on when officers are talking with domestic violence victims.
We also know that the officers must send what's called a rapid or BOLO, be on the lookout message for suspected orders of protection violators that could be out there.
Coming up, hear about MTSU alumni Grammy wins, along with an MTSU student's perspective of how the Grammys went and how it inspired him.
Well, also coming up,
Watch Fox 17 News this morning. Look for the QR code to enter. Get the question right, and you could win. Complete contest rules at fox17.com. This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by U.S. Pest Protection. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning. It's 8:31 right now on Fox 17 News This Morning, continuing coverage of the school choice debate in Tennessee. What supporters and opponents have to say following Governor Lee's State of the State address.
Another sunny day ahead of us, even warmer than yesterday, but everything changes and very quickly starting Friday through Tuesday of next week. Cooler and a lot of rain coming our way. I'm going to track it in your forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us downtown. This is I-24 at Shelby Avenue. A crash on the shoulder holding up traffic coming through the heart of Nashville. We'll tell you the best ways to steer clear.
All right. Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We have you covered live through 9, so we've got the next 30 minutes to get you updated before you head out the door.
We're going to get started right now, though, with crisis in the classroom, a series of stories here on Fox 17 News. This morning, though, we're talking about the battle over universal school vouchers in Tennessee. Some folks believe education dollars should follow the child,
but others believe public school money should only go to public schools. Expanding school vouchers is the centerpiece of Governor Lee's vision for the future in Tennessee and a key component of his recent State of the State address. Opponents and supporters making their voices heard.
A recent poll found that 85% of Republican voters support the concept of the money following the child. So this is a no-brainer.
We have underfunded our schools in Nashville for an entire generation. We haven't put the money into public schools that have been needed. We have one of the lowest amounts of public dollars going into public schools.
We should also point out that 10 other states have approved universal vouchers in the past 2 years, including neighboring Arkansas. The governor's bill, though, has yet to be filed, so more updates to come.
And the University of Tennessee's battle with the NCAA heats up, and it looks like Tennessee could have a bit of an edge. A judge lifted a temporary restraining order granted after Tennessee's Attorney General sued college sports governing body.
But today's ruling says Tennessee is likely to prevail in its antitrust suit against the NCAA. Tennessee, by the way, is being investigated for discussing name, image, and likeness endorsements with recruits, so NILs. UT says the NCAA's rules are vague and also illegal.
We mentioned our local construction crews have great weather to get out and repair all the potholes that have popped up around the mid-state, and really, Greg, just overall nice weather to do whatever you might need to do outside.
It's been a good week or so, and that's going to continue today and tomorrow, so we're already kind of looking forward to when all the good stuff turns back to reality. We get rain that moves back in. We get cooler temperatures that almost feel winter-like by the middle of next week. But for right now, we'll just focus on just saying sunny and 65 later on this afternoon. This morning, though, is a little bit brisk, so a decent jacket for the first couple of hours, and then you'll be okay heading into the afternoon. Waves of weekend rain are going to be moving into the forecast. One starts early on Friday, and we don't have the rain really turning off completely until we get to the end of the weekend and into Monday. And like I mentioned, cooler next week. Also, a little bit of a breeze will pick up starting tomorrow. We'll have the wind speed right around 15 miles per hour, wind gusts about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So you will notice the breeze. What does that mean for your trash can? And you're not going to be chasing it down the street and playing the scavenger hunt, but if it does get emptied, it's enough wind to maybe knock a couple of things over in the front lawn tomorrow and going into Friday. Coming up in the next check of your forecast, we will break down hour by hour that timeline of the impending rain that we will have Friday through Monday.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get a look here at I-24 at Shelby Avenue. We just picked up this crash there in the heart of downtown Nashville. That is certainly going to cause a backup there as you make your way in from the north side. Metro Police on the scene, and there is a crashed out car sitting there. What you can do is try to take Ellington Parkway. That'll jump you off there near Spring Street, and then you can have some options there so you don't have to fight through the heart of this traffic there in downtown. Other areas include I-440 here as you make that drive here from the south side of town. Glad to see 3 lanes open. It was down to just 1 a short time ago.
Thank you, Justin. 8:35 is the time right now. And, you know, there are folks in the music industry who dream their entire life, their entire career of making it to the Grammy stage. And that dream is now a reality for several students going through the program at MTSU.
It's inspirational for sure. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us live inside of a MTSU recording studio.
Yeah, well, many MTSU students come through here to learn the basics of what it takes to be in the music industry. Now, although the Grammy winners that went to MTSU were not inside of this recording studio, it doesn't mean that they didn't inspire students like Nedge here. He's also a hip hop artist. Nedge, tell me about that chilling moment of these encounters that you had with some of these big names in the music industry.
Man, from performances from artists like Tracy Chapman to Fantasia's tribute to Aretha Franklin, it was incredible the amount of energy that was in the room and the amount of stars that were there. Spending that special moment on stage, winning those awards, it was very inspiring for me to see them. So.
Yeah, and prior to going to the Grammys, did winning a Grammy seem kind of unattainable to you? And how did this experience make you want to reach your goal faster?
You know, absolutely. Winning a Grammy is always one of those bucket list things on every artist's bucket list. But for me, going actually seemed very attainable. And being in the room, being able to network with so many incredible people in this industry inspired me a lot to go and chase my dreams even more.
All right, thank you so much. This is Nedge again for our folks out there. And just a reminder, moving forward in March, there will be a celebration for MTSU alumni and students who are in the music industry. Reporting live inside of the MTSU recording studio, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
After the break, the search for answers continuing after the death of a mid-state man on Christmas Day. We're going to explain how Crime Stoppers is now hoping a new incentive could solve this case.
And this morning in education headlines, getting closer to closing a...
Expert Outfitters will help you find the best mattress to give you the life-changing sleep you deserve. Now at Sleep Outfitters.
8:40 is the time in Operation Crime and Justice. The family of a man killed on a Nashville interstate is still searching for answers about a year and a half or so after his death.
Christopher Sponhorst shot and killed on Christmas Day of 2022. His family has raised the reward for information leading to the arrest of his killer to $25,000. Anybody with information on this case is asked to call Nashville Crime Stoppers.
Well, state lawmakers are now working to try and close a loophole in the law designed to keep predators from making sure that Tennessee teachers do not enter the classroom.
Yeah, we have, as of right now, teachers who are found guilty of offenses like statutory rape automatically losing their state licenses. But if they plead guilty or no contest, that revocation is not automatic. An amendment to change that, taking a big step forward.
Now, the House K-12 subcommittee unanimously passed the bill, moving this one step closer to becoming law. Let's get to Grant. Quick look at your forecast.
Yes, 8:41. I'm just going to break down the timeline of that rain moving in here. The first half right now, the second half we'll get to you in about 5 minutes from now. Let's take a look. This is overnight Thursday into Friday morning. 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. Very light rainfall begins to come down for us here and may hamper your morning commute on Friday. Keep that in mind. Light rainfall on and off throughout the morning and the afternoon. Heavier rainfall moves in late Friday into Friday night. Darker green, heavier rain. Here's overnight, and then this is into Saturday. Heavier rainfall continues. This is the rainier day of the two for the weekend. Sunday is the transition day when we have one last push of rain and then much colder air that settles in on the backside. We're going to tackle that in the next check of your Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get a quick look here in downtown Nashville as they got the tow truck in place to pull that car out of there. This is going to be 24 at Shelby. Be careful as crews are there trying to get those cars out of the way. Best way to steer clear, jump off early. Try to negotiate your way through downtown.
At 8:42, Jillian's Law now one step closer to becoming a reality in our state. Fox 17 News reporter Kelly Avellino with the latest on the testimonies and where the bill will go from here.
Lab-grown and natural diamonds, and much, much more, all 50% off. The huge 25th anniversary blowout. Hancock Diamonds, Goodlettsville, or HancockDiamonds.com.
Welcome into Fox 17 News this morning. It's 8:45. Operation Crime and Justice. State lawmakers unanimously vote to move Jillian's Law another step forward. This is the bill that would make sure offenders charged with violent crimes who cannot stand trial because they're deemed incompetent will not immediately be released back onto the streets.
Right now, Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino joining us, and you've been going through this and you know extensively the details, so share.
That's right. Well, yesterday, the Ludwigs, Jessica and Matt, Jillian's parents, testified again in front of a House subcommittee aiming to close this loophole that contributed to the murder of their daughter.
An angelic voice that now sings from the heavens. Jillian Ludwig's musical talent and ambition and her charity performances to support other aspiring artists will not fade. Even though her own voice was painfully silenced. Jillian was jogging in a park near her dorm at Belmont University last November when 29-year-old Shaquille Taylor fired a gun nearby, a stray bullet striking Jillian. The freshman music business major would not survive.
Shot at a mother and her children and was still on the street to shoot my little girl in the middle of the day.
Jillian's parents now attending a legislative hearing instead of a performance by their daughter.
We were so mesmerized by the adult Jillian was becoming. Confident, driven, beautiful, independent. Her mother and I were so proud. We had considered colleges in Philadelphia and other cities, but we felt that Nashville would be a place she would be safe. Instead, the laws and judicial system allowed a violent criminal to be on the streets.
Taylor has a long rap sheet, including arrests for robbery and aggravated burglary. One of his most recent charges before Jillian, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He was accused of shooting into a car with 2 children inside. But instead of facing a conviction in April of last year, a judge dismissed Taylor's case. 3 court-appointed doctors deemed Taylor incompetent to stand trial. One writing that Taylor functioned on a kindergarten level after a brain infection at birth. But the court experts also found that Taylor didn't meet the standards for involuntary commitment. He was released in May, only to reoffend 6 months later. Taylor admitted to shooting into a car, one of those bullets piercing Jillian in the head.
It's just inconceivable that somebody with that mental incapacity would just be placed back out in society to hurt people.
Representative William Lamberth proposed a new bill that would require defendants found incompetent of standing trial to be committed or receive ongoing counseling and oversight. It also makes it illegal for those deemed incompetent to buy a gun.
We are talking about identifying individuals that are not competent to assist in defense. Yes, committing them, but that starts a process where the entire system then is monitoring that individual who's been charged with a crime to make sure that they're not a danger to themselves or others anymore.
This legislative report obtained by Fox 17 News shows that 40 defendants were sentenced to community-based services last year who were not able to stand trial. It estimates that half of those would instead be committed to inpatient treatment under Lamberth's new law. That's 20 offenders released back onto the streets that theoretically should not have been. Lamberth's bill, now named Jillian's Law, would direct $1.1 million to making sure defendants found incompetent are committed or receive intensive outpatient services under the watchful eye of professionals and the court system.
We are living every parent's worst nightmare. Our daughter had an amazing future ahead of her. We entrusted her to the care of Tennessee. She was only here for 3 months. and our lives will never be the same, and she was robbed of her future.
A future that's now a legacy and a catalyst for change, so that another life isn't taken by someone who fell through a loophole and back into society.
Wow, you just really feel for the parents. And Kelly, can you also talk about the sister bill to Jillian's law?
That's right. So there's another bill proposed by Lambert that would have the state pay for mental health evaluations for those with misdemeanor crimes. Those folks tend to reoffend dozens and dozens of times. Simple assault, petty theft. Again, they're not competent enough to stand trial, so they're released. And then that cycle continues.
All right, I know you'll be following both of those as they move forward, so we'll keep you updated right here on air and online at fox17.com. Kelly, thank you.
We're going to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist, Greg Bogus.
And we're going to pick up right where we left off last time with Future Track here, getting the second half of the weekend planned for you. We talked how Thursday night into Friday morning, rain begins to move in very light for Friday, and then it'll be on and off. Friday night into Saturday morning, a bigger batch of rain moves in, a little heavier at times when it comes to the rainfall amounts that we're seeing. 6 p.m. by your Saturday, still fairly rainy. See where it's yellow over here, our southeasternmost counties? Best chance for the bigger rainfall totals when this system moves out. Your Sunday, not quite as rainy as your Saturday. Some dry times here, not a whole lot of sunshine at any point for this weekend. And then rain moves back in overnight Sunday into Monday. Cold air behind it. Look at even some blues off into the plain states and the Midwest. So that tells us cold air takes over. What does that cold air do for our temperatures? Take a look at your 7-day forecast. 64 degrees today. Today's perfect. Some sunshine, no worries. 46 degrees by the end of the 7-day forecast. After the rain moves out, the warm temperatures go away with it.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-24. This is at Shelby Avenue there on the north side. As you can see, traffic is getting by, but they are dealing with the leftovers of a crash there that was over on the shoulder. You can still get by, though. Just know there's going to be a little backup here behind you. Other things we continue to watch, that includes this crash on I-440 coming in from the west side. They've got a tow truck in place. Just know West Nashville over to 65 going to be a touch slow, at least for a little while longer.
Justin, thank you. 8:51, we have an update now on road conditions across Middle Tennessee. On your screen right now is a picture of a stretch of road on Bell Road that is just eaten up with potholes.
Ooh, it's a mess. So one day after Fox 17 News called NDOT on this issue, crews were out patching the holes. That's some good news, a good update. They began removing the damaged roadway, leveling the area between Couchville Pike. It's right on Heron Point Drive, if you're familiar with that point. Drivers say the section between Smith Spring Road and Blackwood Drive, though, it still needs some work.
NDOT says that area, though, is maintained by the state. So TDOT will have to come in and do those repairs. We are getting word that it's going to be fixed later, but we didn't get a specific time frame. We will be following up. And in the meantime, if you've got a problem area you want us to check out, head on over to our Fox Nashville Facebook page. We've got a whole post dedicated to your potholes.
Let us know. After the break, a Tennessee legislative staffer suspended. What one representative says happened in a hallway at the state capitol.
Size up with 4K TVs from your favorite brands. Go big, bigger, even bigger. Plus, get up to 36 months free financing. Score amazing deals in store or online. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Right now, we do want to bring you up to speed on a breaking news situation. This is in the San Diego area. They are looking for a Marine helicopter that has gone missing.
Here's what we know so far. Search teams are looking for this helicopter after it was working some type of run there just off the coast, to Erica's point, just off the coast of San Diego. This is very close to the border with Mexico. We'll be monitoring the story for you once we get off the air, so you can check back for updates at fox17.com.
Protects.
Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Your first line of defense when severe weather threatens. Warning you up to 3 days in advance.
So, when we call a Code Red weather alert,
know we're providing you with the information needed to prepare and stay safe.
you're watching Fox 17 WZTV Nashville.
The Fox 17 Code Red Weather app, your first line of defense when severe weather threatens. Download the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather app now.
You're watching Fox 17 WZTV Nashville. 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 You're watching Fox 17 WZTV Nashville.
Fox 17 News, your Code Red station. We track severe weather.
Using our Code Red alerts up to 3 days in advance.
Warning you to weather that will impact your life.
Our forecast pinpoint a storm's path, showing when it will hit your neighborhood. That's where we already are. This low pressure system looks like it will be arriving in Brentwood at 4:15 on Wednesday.
Providing you the information needed to prepare and stay safe. Fox 17 News, your Code Red station. Alerts, empowers, protects. Fox 17 News, your Code Red station. We track severe weather.
Using our Code Red alerts up to 3 days in advance. This low pressure system looks like it will be arriving in Brentwood at 4:15 on Wednesday.
Providing you the information